Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, happy Tuesday, y'all. Hey, Amaya, I see you. How you getting King James spot, man? What's up? Good morning. It's like your second day in a row being first on the list. Good morning. I hope you are having an amazing day so far. King Core, what's up, Corey? Hey, yo, this the furthest to the top you ever been, ain't it? Good morning, man. How you doing? Hey, Mira. I see you being consistent, baby. Good morning. Hey, Cam. Shout out Chaos Smoothies. Good morning. Hey, Jordan. What's up? Good morning. Jordan woke up early to be with us. You ain't never on here this early, Jordan. Good morning. Hey, Elder. Good morning. Miss Simone.
Good morning.
Yo, I'm loving that fit. Good morning.
Good day.
Yo, it's official over there.
I got my favorite sweatshirt on.
Yo, I love it.
People.
Yes.
How are you feeling?
I love it. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm happy. This is my favorite hour of the day, so I can't ever be not happy when it's time.
I know, right? I know. Yo, we had a Maya kick us off today, yo. Second day in a row, she been on the top, yo.
I'm like, you've been drinking coffee? How you up so quick?
I don't know what she been doing. She been singing them hymns like,
Success session. How you doing? Okay, let me stop.
Hey, she been doing it. Hey, Mira. Hey, Mira. It's all good. That's fine, baby. You here with us, so it's good. Hey, Isis. Good morning.
Isis.
Yo, Jada, y'all been showing up. Come through, Jada J. Good morning, Jada. Hey, Bree, what's up? Good morning. Ain't nobody ever sent me that voice message on how to properly pronounce your name, so it's Bree. it's gonna be Bree. Hey, Kamaya, good morning. Hey, Miss Simone, special shout out to Kamaya. She rode with us all day yesterday.
And yo, Kamaya Success Sessions, right?
This is Kamaya Success Sessions, my favorite name, hands down. She was with us all day, yo. She was even breaking down the little things that Miss Caitlin was doing. You know, I don't know exactly what it is, but she was doing the little exponents and all that stuff, yo. She got the right answer and everything. I was like, oh, you smart.
Yes, Kamaya, we love it.
Yo, Kamaya was doing it. Hey, Summer, good morning. Hey, Ari, good morning. Hey, if y'all still wanna facilitate that conversation with the CEO of public schools next week, I gotta get with y'all.
Yes, ASAP.
That's gonna be a good one. So I definitely gotta get with y'all. Hey, Breezy, good morning. Hey, Ma. Hey, yo, the manager in the house. Everybody better straighten up.
I was gonna say.
Y'all better straighten up. The manager's here. The manager ain't never here early no more. He done got promoted and some more stuff. He's here. Good morning, Mom.
Smart does not play games.
Don't play no games. Hey, Ania. Good morning. Ania been very consistent, yo.
That makes me so, y'all.
She's been very consistent, yo, since she got been on everything. Hey, Taylor. Good morning. What's up? Hey, Lamar, good morning. Yeah. Yo, we is here, yo.
Morning crew. This is
the whole morning crew, yo. We missing the person on eggs and the person on meat. Y'all already, who's that, yo?
Corey and Q.
Corey and Q, yo.
Our baby.
Yo, Corey and Q. And we don't have nobody in the drive-thru. I'm gonna have to replace somebody in the drive-thru because.
And you know, once the drive-thru gets backed up, everything.
Once the drive-thru backed up, yo, everything is done, yo. James can't be in the drive-thru no more, yo. Amaya, you got the drive-thru, yo. You got the first window. Yo,
I love this so much. Because did I ever tell you I worked at Chick-fil-A?
No, yeah, that's why you're so efficient.
That's why you're so efficient.
Hey, DJ, good morning. Yo, yeah, was this?
Yeah, this is my first job in high school. I think in 10th or 11th grade. And I used to, like you said, no games were played. Like my parents used to hate coming through the drive-through because they used to want to take pictures and be like, "Hey, Moni," and I'm like, "What's your order? Let's go. I already have your sauces." And my mom would get so, she's like, "Okay, you're rushing me now." Like I'm like, because my drive-through time was the best. They couldn't tell me nothing.
Yo, for real. Hey. These kids don't know nothing about that, yo. Yo, yes, hit them with the my pleasure.
With the my pleasure. Slowly rushing them and they don't even know because I have a smile on my face. I'm like, do you need anything else? Okay, here you
go. Get out of here.
I got a line to keep. So every time you talk about this, Miss Joan, it really has a special place in my heart because I'm like, no, really, it takes a team, a good team to make.
No, a good team, yo, a good team. And we love Jada, but she still on maintenance.
Yeah.
So she wiping down tables, she sweeping floors, mopping floors, and all that.
But don't
till she get promoted.
Y'all, this is a little
bit. Yo, that's where everybody start.
Everybody start. You have to serve wherever you are because there'd be times I used to be mad that they put me, like I would be in drive-through. Usually drive-through is like the number one spot.
Drive-through for the fastest, for the best.
For the best of the best.
Yes.
And then I remember a few times they'd be like, "Oh, Simone, can you just go clean up outside?" And the first time I had to check my pride because I was like, me? I am not going out there. I have made it. I have arrived. I'm on the drive-through. Go send somebody out. But every time I would go, I would smile. I would talk to people. And like, there would be sometimes some people have opportunities. And because I'm like filling their drink and stuff and get connected, or I find out we go to the same church and they told me about a scholarship for college. Like, it was intentional. So wherever you are, even if it's not the most glorified space, continue to serve because you never know what good things will come out of it.
Exactly. You keep showing up, Jada. We're going to put you on the front counter, yo. Go put you on the front counter. Hey, Ma. Good morning, Ma. Y'all see my mother on here.
Yes. Oh, we are a mess.
Man, too much. What we doing today, Miss Simone? I'm too excited, man.
Yeah, no, I was excited to, Naeem, who does like engineering, he was reaching out to you. He said he wanted to do a session on engineering.
Yeah, so he finally stopped bluffing.
Yeah, no, he reached out to me. Even Miss Morgan, Miss Mo said that she reached out to him, but I think he's having some technical difficulties. So yeah, we got to pray for Naeem to get his Wi-Fi out of the ghetto because I haven't really heard from him.
Yo.
But he was trying. So he was supposed to talk to y'all about engineering today. We're not going to talk. I don't know about engineering.
I don't know nothing about that either. So all of the Verizon guards, I command you now, go to, what's his name?
Naeem.
Get to Naeem as fast as you can. Fly away. All the T-Mobile Angels, get to Naeem. we need him out of the ghetto. Get his connection out of the ghetto because he the show for the day.
I'm like, Naeem, you're really supposed to be the show. Miss Simone, thank you for the opportunity, all this stuff, but it's okay. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So Naeem, if you can hear me, this is your time to say something in the comments. If not,
do something, bruh.
Don't worry.
And yo, this is why I be telling them people, like, yo, join the regular stuff first before you just try to jump out there and be like a sure enough guest. Because he wanted me to give him his own just like whole hour. I was like, oh no.
Baby, that's all right. You gotta shoot for the stars, I guess.
Naeem, you as an engineer, yo, get on that pole and fix the problem.
Miss Joni, please stop being so funny.
I'm being real, yo. Like, come on, bruh.
Okay, don't worry because we still need to finish our conversation about time management, finding joy and balance in your life. So I'm sorry, we're not going to do the engineering, but if you can get your time management down and you want to be an engineer, I'm sure it'll serve you well. I'm so sorry. Let me stop laughing. We're going to have a good day. But I just want y'all to show that it's okay. We're all making it. There's going to be days where you have a plan and you got to rework it. But just know if you show up and you give your best and you just give it your all, things will still work out. So this is like the perfect slide. I'm going to go through these because we've been talking about this for a while now. I don't want to be too repetitive, but just the point of this whole conversation is trying to rethink the way we think about time management and really get focused on being how do we get more efficient with our time, increase our productivity, but also still finding balance and joy in our lives as we're trying to like do all the things we want to do, which means like have healthy relationships with friends or significant others or family members. But also you want to be successful. You want to get to where you want to be at in your career. You might want to serve and give back. And like also have fun and have time for your hobbies. So how do you do all of that? Um, and then especially when you make a plan and then it goes a little left, how do you keep going during your day and not letting, that one incident mess up your whole week? Maybe you can have a day, preferably with just an hour, that you can keep going and pressing forward towards your goals, because the main thing that we don't get more of is time. Everyone has 24 hours in a day, God willing. So how can we make it work for us? And so um, this is a slide that talks about when you get frustrated during your day. And also, disclaimer, guys, these are just some of my tips. Miss Joni, I love your feedback. We love if you have anything you want to share as well. And I want you guys to type in the comments some things that you do when you're getting frustrated during the day, or just any time management tips that you guys use that we can share with each other would be good. So one thing I found that really messes up my time is when things don't go my way. And then I'm so focused on like focused on that thing that I'm letting the rest of the day pass me by. And now it's just building up because I didn't do this and I didn't do that. So honestly, guys, plan for if there's gonna be a time unit where you're feeling frustrated, plan those 30 minutes to breathe, drink some water, get something to eat, meditate, get a change of scenery. Like that has helped me a lot these past couple of days when it's not raining. I'll go sit outside and do some work. And that has really been helping me just to kind of clear my mind, get out of the environment that pissed me off. And now I can go to a new area, create a new space, and get my mind right. If you do need to talk to someone, take a 30-minute break, but make sure you're consistent with that 30 minutes. Like, I'm just going to talk to you for a little bit. Do you mind if I vent? And then I can call you back later because I still have work to do, but I just need to get this like off my chest so I'm not frustrated. If you need to listen to music, any of those tips you need to do, don't be afraid if you get frustrated during the day to take that time that you need, because it's better if you take that time now instead of letting the frustration carry you on through the day. And then the last two bullet points really help me to not just sulk in it. You have to continue to strategize how you will move forward for the rest of the day. Because let's say you didn't account for needing that 30 minutes, and let's say you needed that 30 minutes to finish one of your homework packets, and now some of that 30 minutes is gone. So just kind of rethink about your schedule and figure out how you can add that 30 minutes back in. What do you need to take away so you can still focus on your work, but you can also not get stuck where you are? So I see some great comments. Ania said, take a walk. Kim said, eat a popsicle. Elder said, take a walk. Ania said, take a shower. Oh, yes. I love a good shower just to refresh you, get you up, back and going. Jada said a shower too. Yeah, guys, these are all good things because we're human beings. Like, we all have things are going to try to like get us off our path and our schedule. But the thing is, you don't want to let it overtake your day and not be productive. So make sure you take your moments, do what you need to do, but also like go back to your schedule and add that time back in. Brie, I see you said go outside for fresh air and also draw something. Yes, that is beautiful. Elder said eat some food. Yes, hopefully some good food, because we had our session with Miss Caitlin yesterday on eating healthy snacks, because that'll be good, filling your body back up with good energy, because when you eat good, you feel good. Jada said washing dishes. Yes, Jada, come wash my dishes, baby. Isis said meditate. I love this, guys. So yeah, do whatever you need to do so you don't get stuck. And then one thing I try to remember is like, there has to be some good thing that happened, even if it's just that I woke up in the morning, or, maybe I got a compliment, or maybe I finished my paper. So whenever bad things come, I try to hold on to at least that one good thing that happened, and I keep that on the forefront. So now I'm not like, oh, this whole day, but there's still something good, at least one positive thing that happened in your day that can help you to move forward. Miss Joni, you have anything that helps you to press forward when you get frustrated?
Yeah, man, food.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing right there. Like food, and I'm good. It used to be like if you saw me with a McDonald's bag, then you already knew like I had a tough day. Now that I don't really eat fast food like that, like I'll just treat myself to whatever it is I'm feel like eating. But yeah, that's my thing. I go to food.
I know, me too. That good crab sweet potato pie. Me too.
Yes.
Everyone leave me alone and let me eat. I love it. I love it. All right, y'all. So these are for my creatives, my people who maybe it might be hard to keep track of your time because you don't know when you might get inspired, right? Like, so it doesn't always just sometimes you can't just sit there and be like, I'm going to write for an hour, or I'm going to make a beat for an hour. Maybe you can. That would be great. I'm sure you could train yourself. But let's say you are supposed to be doing your homework. But then you get an idea and you start getting inspired. One thing I do when I get inspired, I try to write it down in my journal or something so I don't forget it. And so I can get it out on paper, and then I can come back later when I have like more time to focus on that, to like really give it my energy and give it my all. So I'll try to like stop what I'm doing really quick, write it down, and then move forward and come back later. But sometimes that's not always realistic. Sometimes you really will just have to stay in the moment because it's just flowing and it's coming and it's happening and you want to get it out. But just remember, don't let that time go wasted that you plan for something else. Like, just remember, like, how can I re-add this back in my schedule? How can I, please stop using inspiration as an excuse to not do the things you're supposed to do. Okay, that will not serve you. It will stress you out later. So it's not to say you can't be in the moment, but you still have to think about, okay, how am I going to incorporate this back into my schedule? Because I have other goals and things that I want to achieve. And I feel like a lot of the times with creatives, it's just important about communicating with others if you need to reschedule. Like, communication is so key when you're trying to be productive and you're trying to have a life of balance and joy, and keep people in your life that you care about, but also staying focused on what you need to do. Just communicating with people goes a long way. And I always say people don't expect you to be perfect, but they do need you to communicate. So if you can keep that in the forefront, I feel like that will really help. All right. And then this is a review number 4. Stick to your schedule as much as possible and set expectations and boundaries so that people will start to respect your time. Okay. So this one is key. This goes back to the communicating effectively. When you tell people, like, I'm sorry I can't make it, or I will make, you just need to be able to let them know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and where they can fit in and where they can't. So I say apologizing plus action is your best friend, okay? Because a lot of the times you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it, or I'm sorry, I can't, I'm sorry, but then you're not doing anything to show your actions speak louder than words. So yes, you want to apologize if you can't make something, you can't do something with someone, but try to put like a new time behind it. Like, I can't do this now, but I can do it then. Or I'm sorry I can't do this, but I'm focused on my goals right now. And then really focus on your goals, because people are going to be irritated with you if you keep brushing them off to the side, saying you're focused on this, and then you're not doing anything with it. It just seems like a whole bunch of talk. So really, like, a part of communication when you're doing your time management is apologizing and being true, and like having your actions line up with your words. And then don't procrastinate conversations. I remember when I was first trying to, like, get into the workforce, just get in stuff. And I just used to be like, oh, I guess I'll just tell him a little bit later, knowing good and well I can't come. Like it's not gonna it's not gonna help to procrastinate it. It's better to just let people know ahead of time if it's really not fitting in your schedule. And a lot of the times once I stop procrastinating, it was so much easier if I tell them ahead of time than instead of waiting the day of or the day before. And then people get more frustrated because now I didn't allow them enough time to reorganize their schedule, right? So just try not to procrastinate conversations. If you know you can't do something or be somewhere, it's okay. Just let people know ahead of time. And then I know a lot of the times you might get busy and you feel like you're missing those connections with your family or your friends. Maybe you don't have as much time as you used to talk and hang out. But one thing I try to do is when someone comes across my mind, even if I can't have a full conversation with them, I'll just let them know I'm thinking about you, and I am an emoji person because text is like the easiest form of communication sometimes. And I still want to show love and show people that I'm like caring about them, even if I can't like talk to you physically or be there with you physically. But I hope the 15 hearts I send you and the text that lets you know I'm thinking about you can at least communicate some of that. Okay. So use those things to your advantage and also have some templates because I know sometimes it can be hard. Like sometimes it might take you 30 minutes just to figure out how you want to say something to someone or let someone know you can't be there. So I have some templates that you guys can try to use just to kind of get your mind in that mindset of like, how can I communicate with people when I need to focus on myself and use my time effectively? So the first one is like, you could say, this day is busy. I wish I could talk, spend time with you, but I need to focus on my schoolwork. I love and appreciate you for reaching out. Can we plan to talk for next Wednesday? Like stuff like that. The next one is like, today has been a little rough, or today has been a really inspiring day. Today has been a creative day for me, and I need to focus more time on my music. Is it okay if we reschedule our lunch date for tomorrow instead? And I really love and appreciate you for understanding. The third one, you can say like, I'm in the zone working on my business plan and it's taking longer than expected. I'm sorry I'm running late, but I'll be there in 10 minutes. Give people some time. And then you could say like, I'm working on my self-care right now, or I'm working on, let's say, a project for school. Do you want to work on it with me? Maybe we can spend 30 minutes working on your schoolwork, and then we can also do 30 minutes of what I need to do. But these are just some templates, guys, that maybe you can use to help you try to communicate with people what you're doing, how you need that time to focus on what you're doing, and maybe how you can incorporate them in what you're doing or either reschedule for another time that works better for you. So what are some things that you guys say? Like, how do you communicate? Miss Joni, how do you, because I know you have a million and one people texting you.
Well, the cool thing about getting older is that like you are less apologetic about things, and like you really do operate in this space of like, look, I just gotta tell you how it is, and whether or not you choose to accept it, I can't make that my burden. So we was just in the chat. So even like for some of the things that you was talking about, like as far as telling somebody that they on my mind or I missed them, I'm never going to say that. You just never want to hear me say that. I'm that person. I'll just be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Like if I missed you or if I'm thinking about you or something like that. And like with stuff like this, I just gotta be straight up. Like, look, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I can't do it. And I'm reading this last one right here where it's saying, I'm working on such and such. Do you want to work on it with me? I'm gonna cut that part out. I don't want you working on nothing with me. Like, no. Like that's the whole purpose of me telling you, like, go chill or go do whatever it is you need to do anyway.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah, but
that's true.
I think transparency is definitely key with stuff like this. And when people know who you are and they know your personality, they know not to take it personally. Like people know not to take it personally if I say I don't have time, because literally I just don't have the time.
Yeah. And that's just that. I think you might be hitting my next bullet point. This is perfect. Let your character speak for yourself, and like the people around you will know the person you are, right? Like, so when you do something, when you say you're going to do something, Ms. Joni, you do it. When you communicate, when you can't meet an expectation, you're transparent, you ask for help if you are struggling. And when people do get time with you, it's quality time. Like they leave feeling uplifted. So they know your time is valuable. It's not just any and everything. So I think that is like the perfect segue into this, like letting your character speak for yourself so that when your words aren't, you don't have enough time to even communicate. At the end of the day, people know not to take it personal because you are who you are. You're doing all the things that you say you're doing, and it's for the better. It's not like you're just wasting your time doing whatever and then pushing people off. It's quality over quantity. And then I always say that too, like you can't be everywhere at all times. So, if you see yourself rescheduling with someone, it's probably because you don't want to be like hang out and you feel like you have other priorities that mean more to you, and that's okay. So don't keep trying to reschedule. It's okay if you only see them maybe once a month, once every month, or you guys can only talk. Be realistic with how much time you need, how much time things take, and what the priorities are in your life. And then another tip too, like I said, sometimes that I do is try to invite people to things that I'm already doing. So like I'm already going here. If you want to hang out with me, like Miss Joni says, I'm on the success sessions from 10 to 3. If you want to talk to me, you know where to find me. Okay. Like the same thing for y'all. Like, and this is why it's so important. And it kind of helps you when you're doing and thinking about this stuff, because you're going to find friends in places where you are, and like you don't have to search for it. If people aren't coming with you where you're going, that means it's already a clear sign that you guys have different priorities and the relationship might be changing. And that's okay. It's all right to find people that are doing the things you're doing, that like the things you like. Because it'll happen organically. The relationship will build. You won't have to worry about making extra time for them in your schedule because y'all already be doing the same things in the same areas. But if you still have some people in your life that it is hard to try to fit them in, invite them to things you're doing so that they can be a part. So these are just some other quick things that I just felt on my heart to tell you guys about time management and just life. And we say this all the time, but I feel you can never say it enough, because I know you guys are like, I'm young, I can do this stuff later, but you're young, but what you do now matters. It's so important. I can't say it again. I was just telling my mom the other day we were just reminiscing about some girls that were just trying to get me off of my zone and focus when I was in middle school, right? And you would think, oh, it's just middle school, but you could see what they're not doing anything now. I'm sorry, but they're like Instagram thoughts. And I'm doing active work. I feel like I have a purpose in my life. And so there will always be times where it feels like, oh, I have time, but no, right now, what you're doing now matters. So I think a lot of people have said it in success sessions, no one ever just becomes successful without working hard. You have to work. You have to do things that you like, but you have to work at them. And then find what makes you joyful and productive and actually do it, do all the things that you feel like really bring you joy, that inspire you, that motivate you, that can help others, and just do it relentlessly. It doesn't mean it's always going to be easy, but if that's your guiding light and your focus and it really does bring you joy, then you'll never feel like it's not worth it. And even on those days when it is hard and you do have to make some sacrifices, you'll look back and it'll be like, okay, I know why I did that. And then spending time reflecting and being grateful every day really helps you to embrace your journey and appreciate your now. And I'm learning that more and more and more each day, because I think I said it in the beginning in another session. I feel like a lot of times people think of living in the moment and YOLO, of just forgetting it all and risking it all. And I'm like, no, that is not living in the moment. That is risking all the things that you've worked on, worked up to for now. So you're oh, I had a bad day. I'm just going to go smoke a blunt, go drink, live it up, da, 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 da. so I can be in the moment and be carefree and let all the cares of the world go away, but just for that one moment. And then God forbid something happens while you're out risking it all doing YOLO. It just is not worth it. So really like taking each day, being reflectful and grateful for like the things that happened. That is how you can like really appreciate your now and your journey. And then being effective and efficient with your time really helps you to be a better you. It makes you more reliable, because you know, like I have these things that I'm going to do and I stick to them and I have a schedule for it. And I know I need to be this place, so I'm going to show up this place. It holds you accountable to keeping your word to yourself too about your goals and the things you want to do, but also to the people around you. You know, like if you say you're going to be on success sessions and you have it in your schedule and you show up to success sessions, it just makes you better. It makes you an accountable person we know we can count on. And then it also helps you communicate what you want and what you need. So this is what I've been liking about time management. At first, I used to think it's restricting, but it does force me, like you say, Miss Joni, to tell people like, no, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm not doing this. I definitely don't want to do that. And at first it was uncomfortable, but then whenever there's a little uncomfortability, like healthy uncomfortability, that is where the growth really happens. And so now I can tell like I'm getting better about knowing what is going to serve me and what's not going to serve me, and communicating that with people. And then the last one is you don't have to please everyone. That is the biggest mistake that you will make in your life, is trying to go around pleasing people that at the end of the day, they're not thinking about you that much. So don't even worry. We all have one life to live that we need to live to our best abilities. So just keep staying focused on your goals. So I have a few quotes that, you know, you guys can take and remember whenever you're feeling frazzled and you're trying to think about your time management and you're trying to find balance and joy in your life. First, step back and think, like, remember, I can't be everything for everybody at every time, because I will use up everything I have trying to give everyone what they want, you know, and that's not, it's just not realistic. You have to really sit back, and we had some questions in the beginning of the slide, just really asking you like, why am I doing this? Why is it important to me? How will this help me in my future? Asking yourself those questions and giving yourself realistic answers will help you clear up some of this, I'm just doing this to please people. And since you can't be everywhere at every time for everyone, be intentional. Plan for what you can do, when you can do it, and who you want to do it for. And I feel like that will help you guys, you know, to feel a little bit more in control of your time, find some sense of balance and joy as you're trying to move forward with all the things, all the great things that you guys are going to do.
No, they going off in the comments, Miss Simone, and just a few things that I gotta make absolutely clear. Like, yo, everything Miss Simone said, absolutely true. I agree 100%. You try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. And not only are you not pleasing anybody, you're making yourself miserable. There are very few things in this world that are impossible, but pleasing everybody is one of those things that is absolutely impossible. So if you are one of those people where you find yourself on that type of situation where you're trying to please everybody, take yourself out of your misery right now and do what's true to you. And the right people at the right time will be pleased by what it is that you're doing. This second thing that I'm reading in these comments about people trying to make other people happy, your happiness is an inside job.
Yeah.
You should be adding to other people's happiness, not creating that happiness for them. And if somebody got you creating their happiness, that's a person that's never ever going to be happy with themselves. And all they want to do is jump from person to person to person to person, looking for something that they never going to find, because you don't find happiness in other people. You find happiness within yourself. So for all my people, again, you on that fence where somebody got you trying to create their happiness, free yourself from that situation. Get out of that situation, man. Like, that's a hamster wheel you will never get off of. And that person is going to be the person sucking you dry, because that's what they are, emotional vampires. They suck you dry. And then once you don't have nothing left, when you can't afford to buy, when you can't afford to do, and when you can't keep up with whatever expectation they got you keeping up with, they're going to go and suck on somebody else. Who calling us?
I know. Success session. Success.
Who calling us? Man,
So
yeah, y'all, it's real, y'all. It is, y'all, it is absolutely real, man. And especially nowadays, man, with some of these relationships, like people don't even care about you anymore. They care about what you can do for them. And it's
always.
sad, y'all. And once you stop being able to do that, then you see them for who they really are. And that's why I tell people a nice way to check the people who you are around is to say no sometimes.
Absolutely.
Say no sometimes. When you say no, that mask will fall straight off. You're going to be every B in the world, every no good in the world, everything once you stop doing something that a person is expecting you to do. And
Yeah.
that's crazy.
But that's how it is, y'all. It's better now to learn it so you don't have to be struggling and trying to figure it out later when you're really in the thick of things and college and work and doing your business. There's so many people in the world, and this is something I have to remind myself constantly. If someone, one, there's billions of people, doesn't want to talk to me, like me, because I can't do for them what they need me to do, bye. You can go bother the other billions of people. You can go bother the other billions of people. You cannot be beholden to trying to please people and make them happy. So practice your no, practice your cutoff, practice your who are you? Who?
Hey, yo, Miss Simone, people be forgetting that no is a complete sentence.
Yes.
Yo, the power of no is so powerful, yo.
Yeah.
No is a powerful thing because no will free you and release you from situations that you are putting yourself into.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a complete sentence. You ain't always got to have an explanation. Stop allowing people to make you feel like you got to explain yourself. Sometimes you can, when it's appropriate, if it's appropriate, but only if you are able to. As articulate as I am, and I don't think that I'm the most articulate person in the world, but as articulate as I am, in some situations, I can't explain myself. And I say, you know what? I don't know right now. But what I do know is that the answer is no.
Yes.
And, give me a day or two to sleep on it or to get right with myself about it. And then maybe I'll come back and have that conversation with you. And then maybe I won't.
Yeah.
But respect me enough to respect the fact that my answer is no. And like, yo, when you give so much and give so much and give so much, and people see you giving so much, I'm like, now you just low key trying to manipulate me and trying to make me feel bad and trying to make me feel like I owe you something. Because, yo, I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe nobody nothing. I do what I do because I want to out of the kindness of my heart, because I obligated myself, and I'm never going to allow anybody else to obligate me. But y'all use your power or no. And when you can't explain, don't let nobody pressure you into explaining, because that's when you end up saying things you got to later take back. Like, and that's one thing too that, being older has allowed me to do. I've rarely ever had to go back and correct something that I said, because no, I said what I said, I meant what I said, and that was it.
Yeah. And I think that's key, Michelle. Like, there's some power in having that knowledge and wisdom experience when you get older, because sometimes y'all think like, and the world tries to if you're young, you don't know, or if you have something in your heart and your instinct, so you start questioning yourself. Well, maybe 9 times out of 10, if you're really feeling that way about it's true, and be confident in your convictions, and you know your body and yourself the best. So if you feel like someone is draining you and something isn't right, it's not, it's probably because it's not. So don't let anybody make you think you don't know what you're talking about, second guess, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Okay, well, let me find out then. Bye. You
Exactly.
know?
Exactly. Yay can. Bye bye, baby. Yo, and somebody put in here, it just went away. So I don't know who it was. I gotta find it. But somebody said it be your family that do you dirty. Bree. Bree said that it be your
Yeah,
family that do you dirty. Yo, I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm with you, yo. I can
I-
certainly understand that one. Absolutely. Like, I'm close with my immediate family, like my mother, my siblings, and their kids. But other than that,
yeah. It's hard
Yeah.
because it's like another level of, because first of all, it's supposed to be people that are close to you, right? And people that are close to you know certain things about you that not everyone knows. And so they can either use that for good or for evil. And sometimes they be the worst ones because they know how to get you, how to push the buttons to make them. And that's a whole nother thing, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't know why, guys, but we have to break out of this mindset that capitalizing on other people's weaknesses is going to make us feel stronger. That is a lie. Don't sit up there looking for like weaknesses in people to make you feel better about yourself, because it's just not cute. And it's not, we all have different good qualities and bad qualities. It's what makes us who we are, and what makes us interconnected. So whenever people are trying to bring you down and say negative things and push those buttons, it's really a testament of them and not to you. And I know it hurts, but please don't take it personal. That just shows that they're feeling weak and insecure in an area, and now they need to push on your buttons and let you know how messed up you are and how this you are, so that they can feel better. But that does not serve anybody. It really doesn't, because no one is perfect. Nobody.
Yo, Miss Simone. And what about the people who purposefully seek out those type of people for like relationships and stuff like that? Like they the absolute worst. Like, yo, they are the absolute worst. They will purposefully attract broken people
Yeah.
just so that way they can kind of manipulate that situation to feel better about themselves. And they might be all nice and good in the beginning. That's how they draw you in. But then once they got you in, then they telling you how much of a bum you are, how dumb and stupid you are, and really just trying to put you down. Because like Miss Simone said, some people, that's how they gain their self-esteem and their self-confidence, by taking yours away. And we gotta be able to recognize that early on in the situation.
Yes, and move far, far away from it. And we're doing our part 2 of toxic relationships, boys versus girls, tomorrow. So that'll
Yo, that's tomorrow. Yo, that's gonna be tough.
yeah, no, we have to get into it, y'all, and we have to get free from this stuff. And y'all get the girls' perspective and the boys' perspective, and we need to get, because we need to break these chains off. It's time to leave this stuff in the past. Y'all have too many good things going for you to be letting people drain your energy, make you like miss parts of your self-esteem. And maybe you never learned this, but we're going to talk about it tomorrow so that you can be equipped and go forward and know how to recognize these toxic behaviors in relationship and cut it off quickly. Cut it off quickly.
Yo, that's gonna be tough. So we're gonna have two boys representing the boy perspective and two girls representing the girl's perspective, and they just gonna go head to head.
Yeah.
Yo, that's gonna be tough.
Why are you so excited?
Because I live for having like both perspectives on the table at the same time on the equal playing field, like same age, same situations, but okay, how are you guys really thinking about this? And it's not to say that every single person thinks like this, but for the most part, you kind of get a general idea of what the consensus is amongst people in that age group.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I think this is going to be powerful. Probably have some like general topics, and then we'll go, because I think it's important. We got to see both sides and how people are thinking about things, and then be able to figure out how to like navigate and move forward. Now that we know what side you're coming from, it's like, oh, that's why you think, and this is why. And
Yo, Kamaya's successor session said, I'm gonna be up at 6 a.m. waiting on that one, Miss Simone. Hey, Kamaya, hey, yo, I'm up with you, babe. I'm up with you.
Tuned in, okay?
Yo, yes, yo. And she said, talking about relationships, this is a good comment. She said, in the beginning, absolutely, it's truly sad for people who are in those situations, because manipulators purposefully make people believe that they need them. And Jada said, exactly, because people will have you thinking that they helping you build your foundation, and whole time they stealing your bricks while you ain't even looking.
Tell the people stealing your bricks, okay? And
Yo.
you into this stuff, the moment you start feeling, and it's not to say, but you can feel it in your body. Don't second guess yourself. When you start feeling different about yourself, when you feel drained after that, but they're stealing your bricks. That's exactly what they're doing. They are
Yo.
taking it, and you don't need to give them any more time or energy to try to come back and fix it. No, it's okay.
Yo, right? Yo, Anea said, I want to do that. What you want to do? You want to be on the boys versus girls? Yo, I can already feel it. We're going to need a part three. Because for y'all who missed the part one, y'all don't even understand why I'm so excited for part two. Part two going to be a beast. So definitely with the reactions we get, and we might need to just in advance plan like a part three.
Honestly.
And the other perspectives too. I hate to be the one to say it, but you know let me not say it. I ain't gonna be the one to say it.
No, you gotta say it now. You gotta say it. We are
Leave me alone, y'all.
Say it. Say it. He can handle it, Miss Jones.
I'm just saying, in our day and age, and I'm not trying to be offensive to nobody, but we might need, the girls versus girls and the boys versus boys. Like, I mean, just being real to include everybody.
Miss Jones,
because it's a real situation.
It is a real situation. Yes, I'm so glad you said that, because there's different types of It's not a one set. Like, I want y'all to win in relationships, no matter what kind of relationships you're having, whatever you're doing. It's different kinds of stuff. Some of the stuff is similar, but let's get it out on the table.
Yeah, let's put it all out there.
A constructive, healthy kind of conversation. It doesn't mean you have to agree with everything after we leave the conversation, but at least you'd be willing to listen, expand your mind, and do what you will with the information so you can move forward and have healthy relationships.
Is that everybody want to be on, yo. Kamaya Success Session said, I feel like I want to be on. She was like, we love a good topic, a heated debate. Yeah, Kamaya, I'm so mad, like you just getting on with us. Because if you would have been rocking with us like a while ago, you would see how we led up to this. Like, I'm trying to tell you, right?
So, relationships are such a hot topic. I remember when I was getting nervous, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do success sessions, but what am I going to talk about? What do people care about? So I asked my little sister, because she's a senior, and she's like, you got to talk about relationships. She was like, everybody loves to talk about relationships.
It's true. And it's so important, and it's so timely. And it's crazy because relationships be taking up so much of our life.
Miss Joni.
And like the wrong ones will have you taking your life in the wrong direction. And then you look, and by the time you look up, you're like, wow, how did I let that person take me so off track? How did I let that person keep me unfocused for so long? Like relationships control actually just too much of us. No. That's probably why I'm single, Miss Simone. I ain't got time, yo. I ain't got time.
People are chasing your car and you're driving. Okay, 90.
The drive-through line is long. Don't get it twisted. Miss Joni might be old, but the drive-through line is long. Baby, but my window is closed. Next window.
I can't, Miss Joni.
Miss Simone, next window.
Let's go.
Got the little bar down and everything, y'all.
Miss Joni, that's real though, because
it is real, y'all.
It's quality, and you're successful, and you have to. Not everyone can get your time, and I think what you just said is the biggest jewel, y'all. If y'all want effective time management, have a partner that is not stressing you, that is pushing you towards your goals, that is doing things that you want to be doing. Those are the best. That's how you are effective and productive with your time. That's what forget all the slides. Make sure you have good relationships, because that can really make you or break you. Because it's one thing to be a mess, and then to have your heart attached to it and someone trying to manipulate it and touch it. They say love makes you do crazy things. So
yeah, crazy things. Yo, I see y'all comments. Hit up Miss Simone, y'all, if y'all want to be on the other side of that conversation, because Miss Simone, we committing to a part 3.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, Miss Simone said we absolutely commit into a part 3. So hit up Miss Simone if you want to be on the other side of that table where we do girls versus girls, boys versus boys. Like, yo, that's gonna be fire, yo.
Joni is too excited.
Yeah, I know.
No,
My mother ain't gonna be able to tune in for that one. You sit out that one. Church people, sit out on that one. Y'all come back the next day.
16 to 24. 16 to
yeah. Yeah.
We gotta keep it real.
We don't want to upset the saints, y'all.
But we might need that perspective. And y'all also send me some topics that you guys feel like are important to talk about in relationships, right? So, whether it be communication, or is it trust, or is it, let's really get into these topics, so that we can be successful in it. And nothing is off the table. We'll try to make it as PG as possible, but everyone's been warned. Please, if you can't handle the heat, because we got to get real with this.
Yeah, we gotta be real. Stay out. This ain't gonna be a conversation for everybody, yo.
We're not gonna judge. We're gonna be real, open, transparent, and I really hope this changes, y'all, because this stuff helps me. We don't get up here just telling our stuff just to say it.
Nah, not at all. Yo, Kamaya said Kamaya got something to say.
Oh my God.
Yo, she ready, yo. She is ready. Yo, I can't wait, yo.
This done turned into a whole reality.
A whole series, yo.
For the next 2 weeks. What are we talking about, Miss Simone? Relationship.
Right? Basically. Because it ties into almost everything, man. And we need a session too on those relationships where you end up messing up your friendship.
That's really true.
It's never gonna work.
Yeah, because then they want all your time.
Never gonna work, but people still think it got hope.
Oh God. Yeah. Get it now. I guess.
Yo, Jada said, I feel like the next debate, I'm going to be dodging toxic relationships. Like next caller. Hey, yo.
What? You gotta hit him with a good.
Hey, Jada, that's how my drive-through line is, yo. Next window.
To keep it moving.
Yo, for real. But yo, imagine taking all that energy and putting it into something productive. That will scare you because it's like, wow, how much further in life could I be? How much could I accomplish? Even if you took half of that energy that you invested into somebody else and put it into something productive, well, just put it into yourself. Like, yo, that is too powerful.
That's the key right there, Miss Joni. That is the key. All that time and energy you are spent, if you could put that into yourself and what you want, amazing things happen. And
right?
I saw, I don't know if it was Warren Buffett. There's this article that said the important decision you will make in your life is who you choose to be your life partner, because that is either going to help you move forward and propel you, or they're going to hold you back and keep you stagnant. So it might not be high stakes right now, but it is high stakes because what you do now impacts your future. So
absolutely. Can't talk about who I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If y'all don't know who is never going to work is, y'all need to ask around. There's 2 parts to that. It's never going to work. They both here. And they know it ain't going to work.
Oh, Miss Joni, we have to go right now. We have to go right now. Jesus.
Hey, yo, Jada gonna say, hey, yo, next window, because I don't have no change in my drawer. Hey, yo, that's facts. You ain't gonna have nothing in your drawer. Literally.
They're gonna take all the pennies, all the crumbs, and then when you run out of money in your drawer, they're gonna look at you like, well, what are you gonna do to figure it out next?
Exactly. Yo, it's crazy. Miss Simone, yo, our time, yo, be going by so fast.
No, it's never enough time.
And I can't believe that dude stood us up, yo. Let him hop in my inbox again, yo. I'm on it. He lucky I don't know what his name is. I'm gonna wait for him to hit me up. Naheem.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Naheem. I was really rooting for him, but we still had a good day.
Oh yeah, we had an amazing Miss Simone. Anytime you show up, we know it's a good day. And when you all out, we know it's a good day. Yo.
I didn't even need the hoops today because I have my hair out. I have my favorite sweatshirt. I'm like,
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, you good, yo. Normally you just give us the little babies on the side. We got it. Oh, yo, I love it, yo.
I gotta go.
Yo, I love it, yo. But we need your jewel, Miss Simone, so we can get ready for our next mental health guest.
It's gonna be fire. All right, let me think. I want y'all to know that what you have to offer is quality, okay? So make sure that there is more demand than there is supply. Make sure you are limited edition, okay? Don't let people have your time, your energy, all that you have to offer. Definitely not your body. Make sure your drive through is long and that the window is closed, okay?
The window is closed. Yo, and you be in even higher demand when your window is closed.
That's what I'm saying. Why do you think everyone wants Chick-fil-A? Because they're closed on Sunday.
Right? Yo, you be in even higher demand, yo. I can't take it.
Oh, geez. This is a whole. All right, we're going to be back tomorrow, y'all. Get ready.
Tomorrow, 10 o'clock. See you, Miss Simone. Yo, Miss Simone is amazing, isn't she? Listen, take a 5-minute break. We right back here at 11 o'clock with Mr. Rich. The conversation about mental health continues all week long, y'all. Y'all already know Miss Nia brought the heat yesterday. So Mr. Rich, he gonna continue. So I see y'all right at 11. Yo, we got a guest coming on, so I'm not even about to drag you across this whole internet, but yo, sleep, yo. You plan to do something in sleep? You should have just said you was dead, yo. You should have just said that you was dead and you just getting out the coffee, yo. Come on, man. You got to do better, yo. Y'all get on him for me. Y'all get on him for me because he got to make up for this big time. Y'all get on him for me, but we about to welcome Mr. Rich because we got an important conversation about mental health about to happen, y'all. Y'all already know. There he go. There he go. Hey, Mr. Rich. Hey, Mr. Rich. All right, it say his audio connecting. We're gonna let him connect. Yes, yes, y'all. Let him know, please, y'all. We said a little prayer for your internet and everything. We thought your internet was in the ghetto. We thinking you was having problems, technical issues. We like send all of the rising gods over to his house and help him get on. Man, y'all, please, somebody get with my man. Hey, Mr. Rich, can you hear us? Mr. Rich audio is connected, y'all. Yeah, you can't sleep on nothing. Ain't no time for sleep. You can't hear us? Especially not when you schedule to do something. Q, don't give, you saying hi to Mr. Rich. I thought you were saying hi to Scanner. Okay. Hey, Mr. Rich.
Hey, Miss Joni.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. I'm blessed. I can't complain. So
please don't.
glad
Please
to
don't.
have you.
Please don't. Please
I can't, man. Who gonna listen anyway?
That's right. That's right. Too much going on to complain.
Way too much going on. I'm so excited to have you here with us today, man.
Likewise.
Talking about this very important issue around mental health. So I want to get right into it because yesterday we did not have enough time. Yeah.
Never enough time. Never enough time.
We never have enough time. It's an important, timely conversation. So we're going to jump right in. The kids are here, y'all. Please put your comments, put your questions. I promise we're going to get through as many questions as we can. But Mr. Rich, I'm going to let you start with like a formal introduction because this is really like technically our first time meeting for real.
Well, I've seen you, at different places, and I have seen and felt your energy and your passion for young people time and time again. So we may not have met formally, but I have basically been in your space. And it has been wonderful to be around you and to feel your energy and your love and commitment to our young people. So I'm glad to meet you formally now. And as a way to introduce myself, I have been at this work for a long time. I've tried to sound the alarm regarding the future of our children and the uplifting of our children and the respect and valuing our children for a long time. So while I may not be widely known to some folks, I have been at this for a lot of years. And I know that our future depends on how we treat, respect, and value our children. And if that doesn't happen, then you will have what we had 5 years ago. Our children were doing what, Miss Joni? Throwing bricks and rocks and stones at the system. At the system because they felt what? They felt disrespected.
Yeah.
So while some may think that, they were basically just letting off some steam, they were trying to do what? They were trying to get our attention. And so I know that they are mostly interested in getting our attention and making certain that we hear them. And not only hear them, but we also feel them. And that's what HeartSmiles is all about. You trying to feel the young people, you're trying to do what in their hearts. You're trying to help make their hearts smile. And if the hearts can smile, the mind can dream. There is hope. If the hearts can smile, the minds can dream. And so we want our young people to dream. We want them to reimagine. We want them to become what they should be. And that is the work that I have been doing for a long time. A lot of my work, of course, had to do with young men and grown men, but I have basically reached out to all young people, and through mentorship, I ran one of the largest mentorship programs in Baltimore, had about 900 students.
Wow.
And we were in about 14 schools, called Project Raise, Raising Ambition and Still Self-Esteem. That was a program maybe 15 years ago. So we basically were connecting young people to positive adults, because we know that that is a protective factor as well. When you can connect young people to positive adults who love them, believe in them, and it's all all about the business of uplifting them, we got something going. So that's a kind of brief intro. I do a lot of writing, I do a lot of training, I do a lot of trying to connect programs with other programs to collaborate. We do too much siloing. So I'm all about trying to connect the village and trying to connect the dots. So that's a kind of brief overview of who I am and what I'm trying to do. I have a family, I have sons, I have 2 sons, grown-ups, and so I know a lot about young people, because even with my sons, when all their friends would circle around me and around the house, I became their metaphysical fathers. Those young boys who didn't have. So I think I've tried my best to play a very pivotal and important role in the lives of young people. I could go on, but I know we don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna stop right there.
Man, you are amazing, man. What? You are feeding young minds and souls right now. You getting so many hearts and fires and emojis and everything, Mr. Rich.
Trying to be like you, Miss Jones.
Man,
come on,
listen.
Come on.
No, I
Let's
appreciate
go.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so are you from Baltimore, Mr. Rich?
I've been in Baltimore for 30 plus years. So you can declare me as one of yours, but I'm out of Detroit, Motown.
Motown.
Where all the music came from, the Smokey,
them youngest don't know nothing about that.
I know they know nothing about that, but we're gonna teach them. That's what this is all about too. We're going to take them back to some of those old days when Smokey Robinson, Temptations, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Supremes, all those powerful, Berry Gordy. That was Motown, that was Detroit, that's where I came from. And so I have citizenship in both places, Baltimore and Detroit. I've spent the last 30 plus years in Baltimore. Came here to go to Morgan, graduated from Morgan, and I haven't looked back. It was a tremendous experience.
Well, we are blessed to have you, Mr. Rich.
Thank you.
We are blessed to have you.
Thank you.
So Taylor wants to know, and this is a good question, I think kind of sets the tone for us. She said, what makes it so important for mental health to be recognized, in your opinion?
Because everything depends on our mental health and well-being. Everything. If we can, again, get the mind together, if we can heal the mind, if we can speak to the mind, then the mind does what? It speaks to the body. It speaks to the soul. And if we can basically bring the soul, the mind, the body in perfect harmony, we can help bring all of those powerful pieces together. There's nothing that young people can't do. There's nothing that we can't do. There's nothing that we can't turn around. But the mind, we got to work on the mind, because everybody forgets the mind. They focus on the body, which is critical and important. But the mind is what controls the body. The mind is what tells the body what to do, where to go, what to eat, what not to eat, who to hang out with. So the mind is telling us and directing us to do the right thing, to do the wrong thing. So I think mental health is critical, it's important, and why I spend so much time trying to help young people and all folks understand and respect, the power of mental health and our well-being. Oftentimes we tend to do what? Neglect. But we can't neglect the mind, because it plays such a pivotal role in everything that we do.
Wow. So, Mr. Rich, we have, as you know, a few young people who are going to be trained to become like mental health first aid responders, using this healing centered method. Can you kind of explain to us like what that means when somebody says healing centered engagement or healing centered approach? Like, what does that mean?
Let me try to give you I won't call it a metaphor, but a powerful story. There was an anthropologist in Africa studying customs and rituals and practices of African tribes. And so while he was doing that, he was always surrounded by young people, Johnny. And so he basically was trying to figure out, well, what can I do to really energize the young people? So one day he said, let me gather some candy together, some fruit together, and place it at a tree. And then let the children do what? Let the children run towards the candy, get the candy, and do what with the candy, and bring the candy back and eat it. So he thought that that might basically provide them with some activity. So he said, when I say the word noun, I want all the children who were lined up. He had about 13, 14 children lined up. Told them to do what? Run towards the tree, get the candy, and come back. So like most of us, we would have thought the children would have lined up and basically all of them would have run individually to the tree to gather the candy, come back and eat. No, that's not what the children did. The children held hands and ran together towards the tree, gathered the candy and the berries and the fruit, and brought the candy back and the berries and the fruit and ate them together. And simply, the anthropologist was somewhat stunned. He says, why didn't you all just basically run towards the tree individually? They said that there's a concern of ours that goes something like this. If all of us are not happy, none of us are happy. And so what the children was trying to tell everybody is that when the village is not happy, when the children are not happy, when the children are not, basically feeling good about themselves, then how can any of us be happy? Healing center engagement is all about the collective. It's all about looking at basically how did this harm, in fact, basically come and do harm to the children. So it's all about trying to figure out how we can connect children and connect the village so that the village, as African proverb says, it takes the village to raise the children. That's what Healing Center engagement is really all about. It's simply trying to go a step further than what trauma-informed care tries to do. Trauma-informed care focuses on sometimes, not directly, but on the pathology and the harm caused to an individual. Healing Center engagement focuses on the collective, the family, and those systems that basically continue to do harm to children, schools, families, neighborhoods, all of those kinds of things that basically difficult to approach and difficult to deal with, but nevertheless, they must be dealt with if we're going to seriously bring safety and bring health and happiness to our children. So I hope that's a kind of a long way to get to this notion of healing-centered engagement. If you want to dig deeper, we can. Just don't know how much time we have, but I hope that says a lot about this powerful, powerful philosophy, this powerful, powerful practice, this powerful, powerful healing-centered therapy that I think is critical for our well-being.
Yeah, no, that's important and that's very powerful. I'm gonna get to these questions. You got a bunch of questions piling up from some of the kids.
Wonderful.
So any way that you can kind of tie in just this idea, of the healing center engagement, absolutely. Please feel free because you're getting a lot of fire emojis and stuff, Mr. Rich. Like,
wonderful,
yeah,
wonderful.
The kids
wonderful.
are loving you. So Bree wants to know, do you feel that the youth are the ones that need the most support and need people to talk to?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, again, I hope if you get nothing from me today, just know that it's really all about you all, young people. It's all about our supports that we give you early and always. We can't just talk about loving you all. We've got to demonstrate. We've got to be the examples, and then we've got to demonstrate to you all how much we love you all, how much we value you all, how much we respect you all. So again, that is the framework for healing center engagement, demonstrating over and over again how important young people are. There's another African story that I'll tell you real quick. In Kenya, there is a group of men in Kenya, they call themselves the warriors. Call themselves the warriors in Kenya, these great men, powerful soldiers, etc. When they greet each other, they don't talk about sports. They don't talk about this yin yang stuff. The first thing that comes out of their mouth is what? How are the children? Kanserian and Gara is the way they greet each other. Syria and Gara means how are the children? They want to know how the children are every time they greet each other, because if the children are what? If the children are well, everything else is well. But the children are not well, the children are not happy, the children are not smiling, the children are not being educated the way they should be, the children are not loved, the children are not basically supported at every level, and the village is not happy. Cannot be happy, and how dare we talk about loving our children if we're not going to be there for our children 24/7, 65.
Ooh, powerful stuff. Taylor says, how do you feel about youth who struggle with mental health and don't talk about what they're going through? What would you say to them?
I would say to them that your very life will depend on your talking about it, finding someone that you can trust. Because again, if you keep it all in, and so many of us keep our issues in, our problems in, our challenges inside, because oftentimes we don't want to talk about it because sometimes we will be labeled. And I'm simply trying to say to young people, forget about what folks are telling you what not to do. This is about saving your life. And if you are committed to saving your life, then please find someone that you can trust. If it's a teacher, if it's a person like Miss Joni, and I know how much most of you all love Miss Joni. So basically let it out. Because see what happens, you all, this is what happens to people and folks who keep it all in. They either explode or they implode. And implode means that you keep it all in and then you basically start considering ways to self-destruct or to do harm to yourself. We don't want that to happen. Or you explode. And so you take out the anger, the fear, the stress, the anxieties that you feel. You might take that out on others, folks that you love, folks that you care about, your friends. So we don't want you to explode or implode. We want you to do what? Seek treatment and be healed so you can be around to help us, the work that we need to do in order to move this world to a higher place, our communities to a better place, our families to a better place. And we need every single young person that's listening in on this call right now.
Yes, amen, Mr. Rich. Cam wants to know, who are your biggest inspirations?
My biggest inspirations, and again, I'm a reader. So I have several shirts that I developed called Reading Saved My Life.
Mm.
I want you all to know that reading books saved Mr. Rich's life. When I was basically down and out, I lost a girlfriend, or I lost a girlfriend when I was one of the reasons I came to Detroit, because one of my girlfriend, not one of them, but my girlfriend broke up with me, and it hurt me, it pained me. And I thought I was cool. I thought it was all that, I was one of the top football players in Detroit. I was basically getting ready to come to Morgan to play football, go to the pros now. But she broke my heart. So I sat down, and that happened during the summertime. During the summertime, I picked up several books. And those books, one was by Richard Wright called Invisible Man. The other book was by a young man by the name of H. Rat Brown. And the name of the book was Die, Something Die. I won't say the other word, but it was Die, Something Die. And those two books basically gave me a sense of self, basically gave me a sense of identity, brought me into my culture as a Black man. And I also basically should say to you that helps me, who I basically give so much respect and honor to, are the ancestors. Ancestors of those folks who came before us. They're the folks like Dr. W.B. Du Bois, or like Booker T. Washington, Ida B. Wells, those great people of yesterday. Most of our schools in some cities are named after these great people. So I simply try as often as I can to go back, to draw strength from them, because they were able to do what? They were able to overcome odds. They were able to basically do things that folks told them that they couldn't do. So I reflect back on our ancestors. Some of them might be your grandparents. Yeah. Basically whoever you believe can give you, or believe that can give you support, that can give you the energy and the strength to go forward in spite of the odds. Those are the persons that I want you to basically draw strength from, because basically I will tell you emphatically that they were the ones that helped me overcome the odds and overcome so many challenges that I was confronted with as a young Black boy, young Black man in Detroit, And as a man in Baltimore, I used to basically, do a lot of work with the Baltimore Urban League. And so I would drive, Miss Joni, I would drive from my home in West Baltimore to the Mondawmin Mall, where the Urban League was housed. I would see scores of young Black men, scores of grown Black men standing on street corners every single day. It hurt me, it pained me. And so my work also was motivated by seeing them and trying to figure out how could I be a vessel to them? How could I support them? How could I help uplift them? How could I honor them when they were me? I was them, they were me. In fact, there's a concept, and I'll stop because I think about it. But there's a concept I want young people out there listening. This concept is called Ubuntu. Ubuntu, U-B-U-N-T-O. What does Ubuntu mean? Ubuntu means I am because we are, and we are because I am. I am connected to you, you are connected to me, and when we believe that, when we feel that, when we will try our best to do what? Not leave any of us behind.
Woo. Preacher, Mr. Rich.
Come on, Miss Joni. Come on.
Somebody put that in the comments. If you caught what Mr. Rich said, put that in the comments so we can reflect back on that. Can you say it one more time? Ubuntu. U-B-U-N-T-O. And it means I am because we are, and we are because I am. Think about that. Think about that. That connects us. That means I can't go forward unless we all go forward. I can't be happy unless we're all happy. I can't be basically up here if all of us are not here or striving to be up here. That's the concept, and that's the power of that term. That's so powerful. Mr. Rich, you hit on the exact reason why my team and I are so passionate about creating a community of success-minded people, because that's the idea. Like, if you have a community of other young people who want to be successful and who are doing positive things, then you will automatically guarantee just success, because everybody around you is pushing everybody else up. Precisely. What's the African proverb, Joni? The African proverb says that if the spider webs connect, they can tie up the lion. If we cross the river together, the crocodiles can't eat us. If we want to go quickly, go by ourselves, but if we want to go far, go together. Hey, somebody catch this and put this in the comments, y'all. y'all catch this and put this in the comments. Oh, the young people want it. They want it. Keon wants to know, and I think this is a very important question. He says, do you feel like our failing school system plays a big part in our youth's mental health? Oh my goodness. That's a deep question, Keon. Thank you for that question. And the answer is an emphatic yes, Ken. I mean, yes, the school system, again, let me try to really deal with that question, because it's such a powerful question. And it speaks to, again, why our mental health and well-being is so important. Because if in fact we were mentally healthy, and I know we are all on that journey to become mentally healthy, we would not tolerate schools that basically did not do what? Did not provide us with the supports and with the education needed to succeed later in life. There's a stat, and I'll share this stat with you all. You all can look it up. There's a stat that says only 11% of our young people in our schools in Baltimore City are reading proficient. That number might be up or down 3 or 4 points. Think about that. If we truly loved our children, how dare we basically sit on the sidelines for so long and allow only 11% of our children to be what? Reading proficient. Where can students or children go who can't read? Where can they basically go, and where would they end up? And so again, Ubuntu and Healing Center engagement would suggest that we need to really determine how these systems, how these structures, how these institutions contribute to our mental well-being or our mental illness. And so I think that the school system, and I know there are folks who are working hard. I know teachers. I have a son who is a teacher in the school system, and you know I love teachers. Yeah. So I'm not trying to cast aspersions, not trying to blame all of our teachers, all of our administrators, but I'm simply saying if the community sits by and allows schools
basically bring harm or do harm to our children by not educating them at the very highest level, then we are to blame for the failures of our children in life. There's a quote by Julian Bond that says goes something like this. True violence is sending Black children to school for 12 years and only giving them a sixth grade education. Did you hear what I said? Sending our children to school for 12 years and only giving them a fourth or sixth grade education. So yes, the school system plays a role in can play a role in our mental health, or it can play a role in our mental illness. More could be shared with you about that, but again, let's take some more questions.
Yeah, no, that's deep. Taylor wants to know, what is the first signs of mental health that you've seen and dealt with while working with people?
The first sign of mental health is I would say that the first sign is a recognition that either they basically need help or have asked for help. When a person is asking for help, then I think that's a clear sign that they are trying their best to do what? Heal. If they are basically showing signs of overwhelming stress or anxiety or depression or panicking or doing things that basically bring harm to them, then I think that those are signs of mental illness and signs that a person has yet to recognize and acknowledge the fact that he or she. But when that person reaches out, and I said earlier that we all need to encourage our young people to reach out to those that they trust and those that they believe in, that is a clear sign of mental health. Because see, once that happens, then one's behavior changes. Once that happens, then one's decision-making changes. If in fact you are moving towards mental health and well-being, your decisions will change, your decisions will change as well as your actions. And when you start seeing a person who no longer retreating or isolating him or herself or trying to self-medicate on drugs and things of that sort, you know that there is hope and that there is at least an aspiration by that person to do what? To proceed to the next level of his or her life in terms of basically elevating, moving in a direction that will do what save his or her life.
Wow. Harco wants to know, do you think that youth can handle their mental problems by themselves?
No.
That's an important question, and you see that so often. Thank you for that question, Harco.
Not only, I mean, think about it. Adults can't handle their mental situation or illness by themselves. You know, and so no, there's no way in the world that I think young people can and should young people try to basically handle their mental illnesses or their mental conditions, challenges by themselves. It's important, given where we are and given what has happened to so many of us in this country, in our communities, our neighborhoods, really, really understand, what trying to do things on your own, the problems and challenges that you can have when you try to pursue your mental health by yourself. There are people out here who are in place to do what? To help you, to serve you, and to bring you to a point where you can even start opening up and talking about it. I mean, so, young people who basically try to go online to maybe try to find somebody who can help them, those kinds of tactics that young people might resort to in trying to basically bring mental health to themselves are basically can bring more harm. And so the short answer to your question is no, young people should not. And I would hope that they not try to heal themselves on their own, but they would seek help by those who are in place and in positions to really. The young lady who was on this webinar yesterday, Miss Nia Jones.
Yeah.
She is a licensed clinician. She's a clinician, and there are others who will follow me, who basically are in place to do what? To listen, to open up, and to hear pain or to hear your challenges. And they are the kinds of folks that you need to be able to talk to in order to really reach levels of healing and hope that young people need.
The follow-up to that is from Jamira. What if it's no one that they can talk to?
See, I always think that there's always someone. I'm of the thinking that there's always someone, and you might not basically know. And again, that's something that we would explore more. But a lot of young people, a lot of people in general, oftentimes think that there is no. Got to be at least, a cousin, a relative, a parent, caretaker, educator, somebody in your circle, somebody in your life, feel that you can and that you would like to basically share, your thoughts and your issues with, so that they can hopefully steer you in the right direction. That all depends again on the circumstances and situation. If there's a young person out there who's contemplating doing harm to themselves, committing taking overdose drugs and things like that, there are hotlines that you can call, and I'm quite sure that Miss Joni will basically share some of those hotlines or those numbers with you. If you don't feel there's anybody that you can talk to, there are some hotlines that will receive your call and steer you in the right direction, or can be helpful. I don't know if it's a school nurse. I don't know if it's a school social worker. I don't know, again, who. I would hope that there is somebody in your circle. And let me just say this, and I'll put myself out there for you. If you think that you can't talk to somebody, I hope that Miss Joni will give you the number to the Black Mental Health Alliance.
Yeah.
Hope that you will give my number to anyone. If a young person feels that they can't talk to somebody, call me. Call me, and I will do my best to at least listen and then refer if I can't assist you. I will listen and refer. I feel that I can assist you in some shape, form, or fashion. I will do the best that I can. See, part of it is that young people just don't feel they can trust anybody.
Yeah.
But I want you to understand that I will hold, and Black Mental Health Alliance and other organizations like ours will hold your conversation, not one to be shared with the world. It's not a conversation you would have with me that I'm going to judge you. Conversation with me is non-judgmental. I'm about trying to help and trying to heal. It's not about trying to blame, trying to put you down, trying to demean you, trying to disparage you. That's not what this is all about. This is about figuring out how we can save you and how we can help you, how we can support you so that you can be around for the next 30, 40, 50 years to do good work throughout the community. That's what this is all about.
Yes, I love it. And Mr. Rich, you're going to be one of the mentors working with our Healing Center youth leaders, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so they're going to be able to have access right to you.
Precisely. Yes, ma'am.
I love it. I love it. And for people who aren't in that program, if they DM the page that I tagged, the Young Black Minds Matter, can they ask for you and be put in touch with you?
Yes, without a doubt.
Hey, y'all got it. Y'all heard it. I'm going to tag him again later on. If you want to get in touch with Mr. Rich, get in touch with Mr. Rich. This question is from Kamaya. This is a very deep question and important question. Kamaya says, what's your opinion on the minority rates of suicide in relation to depression, anxiety, and help from medical professionals? Thank you, Kamaya, for this question. It's a deep, important question.
That's right. And Kamaya, we know because we've had task forces and committees studying the increased rate of suicide, especially amongst Black youth, children and youth. In some instances, those numbers are going up, and there is tremendous concern as to why. Some of it's based on the last question that was raised in terms of young people not being able to open up and talk to folks about their problems that they have with regards to who do I turn to? I don't feel that it's worth living. There is another quote that I want to share with young people that helps them figure out the reason for living. And this was by a eminent Black theologian who was brilliant in terms of spirituality. It goes something like this. If in fact we can help our children dream and keep those dreams at a very high level, then young people will feel that there is a reason to live. Dreams basically gives you what? Reasons for living. And so when you have reasons for living, then you are not going to park yourself at a place where you are contemplating the taking of your life. So yeah, this is a very serious issue. And we've got to basically, help young people believe that they can do what? That they can turn to somebody that they can basically, because again, suicide is what? Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And so when you don't feel that you basically have solutions to your problems, then you start to think about why continue to live. And so a lot of it has to do with where you are in your life, who you believe you are connected to or not connected to, who do you believe might listen to you and not judge you, and ultimately, hopefully, allowing yourself to believe long enough and often enough that you are here for a reason. There's a reason why each and every one of you are on this earth. And that's the spiritual part. Why are you here? Why? What is your why? What are you here to do? That is Healing Center engagement also talks about culture. What does culture do? Culture gives you three things. It gives you identity. Who am I? Culture also gives you purpose. Why am I here? What is my role? What contribution can I make, not only to myself, to my family, and my community, but what is my contribution to the world? And then lastly, what culture gives you, what Healing Center engagement gives you, purpose. So it gives a direction. It gives you identity. It gives you it gives you purpose, and it gives you what? Direction. Once you know your why, who am I? Once you know your what? Your purpose, what am I here to do? Then everything else is about then direction. It will set you on a course, not to self-destruct, not to become reactionary, become proactionary, and to basically know that your purpose is to do what? To be your best, give your best, show up as your best, and bring your best every single day so that you can do what? Help others become their best and do their best. That's what this is really about.
You better say that, Mr. Rich.
Come on now.
Bree says, if someone is going through something and they don't know how to explain, how do you allow them to get it out and basically express their feelings? That's a great question, Bree.
Right. Yes, it is. And I think that this notion of empathy. See, empathy basically says that I have been there too. I have experienced what you have experienced. I want to connect with you. I want you to know that I'm not perfect. Don't think for a minute that because I might basically appear on the surface to have everything in place, that nothing basically has done what to me. I have not gone through challenges. I have not had to overcome difficulties. That's going to be the first place where I will start. I will simply share my story with you. I will let you know that I believe that I've had some encounters and some challenges that you basically might be struggling with. I may, because I'm older, you might not be able to think that an older person has had those experiences, but I'm trying to empathize with you to let you know I have been in some instances where you are. Mm-hmm. And if we can start there, and if I'm listening to you, and if I'm in tune to you, and you can basically relate to me, as they say, don't just hear me, but feel me, maybe that's the best place where we can start. Once you know that I am here to basically listen, to support, to love, and to basically steer you in a direction that is all about helping you, my hope is that you will then open up. And I would hope that anybody that you encounter in terms of seeking help from therapists, practitioners, health practitioners, mental health practitioners, I hope that that's where they will begin, and that's where they will basically demonstrate to you that they are really trying to do what? Listen and to help. If you run into folks who are not like that, you need to basically step back, go someplace else, or seek another referral, because that person is not in place to do what? To really hear you and to help you. That's person.
Yeah, so important. Jamira has a great question. She says, Mr. Rowe, do you believe that the cycle of poverty, depression, and not taking care of mental health in the community household interferes with success? And have you helped a youth member get out of that cycle?
Right. These are young people asking these questions, Michelle?
These are young people asking.
Unbelievable. Are we writing down their questions? These are powerful questions coming from young people.
Powerful questions. I'm telling you.
So again, I believe that, all of these things, that we call them in toxic environments, we call them toxic practices. We call them toxic institutions. All these things that basically surround us, surround you as a young person, toxic families, toxic homes, all contribute to our mental health, will contribute to our mental health and well-being, or just the opposite. It can lift us up or it can tear us down and basically heal us, or it can do what? It can destroy us. And so, yes, I think that all of those environmental things that you just described and named, that I also basically, schools, neighborhoods, institutions, environments, neighborhoods, all those things contribute to our mental health and well-being. And that's why the Healing Center engagement approach at least places all of those institutions and environmental challenges on the table, so that we move not just to heal the individual, but we do everything to do what? To turn that community into a community of support. We turn those institutions and institutions that will support people. In fact, I call it an ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is when all of those institutions that you just named, are working in service of young people. They basically serve the best interests of young people. They basically demonstrate love for young people. They basically demonstrate honoring, respect, and valuing young people. So you might have schools. That's their purpose, to do what? Be in service of young people in terms of respect and valuing and educating, so that you leave school reading and writing at grade level, so that you can take that education and do something with it. If you are in a school and you are not receiving the right education, then you're being trained to do for others what you ultimately must do for yourselves. If you are basically entering a neighborhood store and you run into a store that doesn't look, it's not healthy, the food is not healthy, all the things that we're talking about, does not serve you, and you don't believe that it's in your best interest, those things can make you feel less than. So an ecosystem makes you feel greater than, makes you feel like you are the best, makes you feel like you are valuable, makes you feel that you are respected. That's what an ecosystem of schools, churches, stores, businesses, political institutions, anything that basically, I call them life-saving, life-affirming, and life-sustaining institutions. We need to basically build those types of systems. I call them the ecosystem again. That's what basically will help lead to not only just mental health and well-being for the immediate, but also for the long term.
Wow. Coach Johnson has a deep question here. He says, why is our depression rate and anxiety rate, suicide rate so high in our community? And how can we try to help ourselves? Because all we want is to feel like we matter. That's deep, Coach Johnson. Thank you.
Very deep, very deep. Why is it so high? Because we haven't basically acknowledged, what happened to us. That's some of it. Some of it is we have been under, tremendous stress, tremendous trauma for a long, long, long time. I can't get into the historical aspects of our trauma, but it started with what? Slavery. It basically moved to the periods of Jim Crow, and then the racism, structural racism, redlining, all those things that basically contributes to telling a people they are less than and they're not worthy of rights that are afforded to them by their document, by just being a human being. And so one of the things that I did last summer, I visited a museum in Birmingham, Alabama called the Legacy of Lynching Museum. Legacy of Lynching Museum is a powerful place where if you want to see what happened to Black people, people of color, you visit that place and you will see what happened to us. And if you are not fortunate enough to have to have a place to go to heal from all of that, if you basically are not in touch with your past and what happened to it, then you start to do what? You start to internalize and start to blame yourselves for what's happening to you. And so a lot of what we do, coach, is that we are caught up in not acknowledging what we've been through as a people, then and now, because there's still some things going on today that basically contribute to our mental illness, racism, poor schools. You walk into a school, and we still walk into our schools, and the water faucets are covered with plastic because we can't drink from them. That's a traumatizing experience. When you basically move in and out of your neighborhoods, and we find so many of our young people subject to having to walk around dead bodies, or knowing that there's violence overnight, during the day, all of that is traumatizing. When we see, the level of drug abuse, alcohol abuse that occur in our communities, that's a form of trauma. And so we are taking all that in. And when you take all that in, and there's nowhere to release that, nowhere where you can basically figure out how to address the traumatic experiences, adverse experiences, then you start to do what? You start to suppress your feelings. You start to basically, repress and suppress your feelings, so that now you are now moving to a place where you are either unable to open up and release. So it's going to cause thoughts of depression. It's going to cause thoughts of hopelessness. It's going to start this blame game. Is it me? Is it my race? Is it my color? What is it that causes us not to be able to excel, not to be able to get out of this, basically these bad situations? So if you are not in touch with somebody, if you're not talking to someone, if you're not educated to understand that these are all the isms that basically have contributed to your downfall or your state of depression, then you can become suicidal, you can become chronically depressed, you can basically start to maintain high levels of anxiety. And so that's why it's so important for us as young people and as a people to really move beyond the stigma of mental health. I can't go to a therapist because somebody may think I'm crazy. I can't go to a therapist. Somebody might think, I am losing my mind. No, I think that all of us should be in therapy. I'll just say it like all of us should be in therapy, seeking help, seeking understanding about our condition and situation, so that we can become what? We can become whole. The mind has the ability to do what? The mind has the ability to create a reality, a new reality. And so we've got to basically, penetrate the mind to the point where we understand and appreciate that the new reality must be created by us. And until that new reality is created by us, so that it says to us that we are basically what? We are valued, we are respected, we basically have something to contribute. We don't have to end up the way that so many of us end up in jail, on street corners. When we basically create a new reality, then we will not have high levels of stress, high levels of suicide, and or the high levels of depression. Hope that basically very long kind of response, but I hope that answers your question.
No, that is amazing. This is all good stuff. And I hope, Mr. Richard, when you get a chance, when you get over here, you go back and read through some of these comments, because I'm only just skipping through the questions.
Wow.
You literally got hundreds of comments of like deep things where you got our young people really thinking and really engaged in this conversation. It's a lot of great stuff. So please go and read the comments, y'all.
Right, but Miss Joni, real quick, let me say this, because I know we're running out of time, but let me say this. I want our young people to really see, y'all need to hear me today, you all. Y'all need to hear me, Miss Mia, and others who will be on these calls, webinars. And Miss Joni, we got to thank you and thank HeartSmiles for everything you have done to really bring all this together, because I want young people to know that we have for too long ignored your calls to us, your pleas to us, to really be about us, and to know and understand and appreciate and love us in a way that you all deserve to be appreciated. There's an African proverb, I'm always injecting African proverbs and so forth. Yes. If the children can't feel the warmth of the village, they will do what? They will burn it down. And burn it down doesn't mean in the pejorative. They will simply do the things that, some people might ascribe to them as being, anti society, anti in terms of justice. They might look at that as being, but I will simply say to you all, in history, every movement, almost every movement where we have seen change for the positive has been started by what? Young people. So healing center engagement speaks to taking actions when you don't like a situation or a condition the way it is. It's about mobilizing, taking action to do what? Change those conditions, change your environment, change your situation, walking out of school if necessary, speaking to having healthy places to go and eat in your community. It means all of that. It means action. It doesn't mean sitting on the sidelines. So young people, you've got to do what? Take some action. If you don't like the situation, take some action to do what? Change the situation so that it benefits you in the long run.
Ooh, absolutely, man. Our time is never, ever enough. But I gotta squeeze this question in because I think it's important for especially for the healing center leaders to kind of understand. How do you think this peer-to-peer approach in terms of mental health, how do you think that's going to impact our community, and why do you think it's important?
Powerful. And again, I can't believe these are questions. Yes, I can. I can believe that questions coming from our young people because I believe our young people are smart. I believe our young people are brilliant. There's a powerful book that calls "Awakening the Genius in Young People" by Dr. Amos Wilson. And basically, he says that in every child, there is genius. So I'm not surprised by you all's genius. Now, there may be some adults that might be surprised by the genius of young people. I'm not one of them. I believe that you all are inherently brilliant. You have genius inside you, and it's up to us, the adults, to do what? To bring and to awaken that genius inside of you. And I know that's what my son tries to do every day in his classrooms, because that's what I taught him. So anyway, I won't go there. But again, I believe that the peer-to-peer model is a powerful model, because young people do what? Listen to young people. You all know, you all feel each other. You all know each other. You all basically are in that generation where you might say, yeah, Brother Richard, Mr. Richard, I hear you, but do you understand where we're coming from today? I will back off, back away, move out of your way so that you can do what? Touch each other in a way that I cannot reach you, communicate to you, and basically understand what you all are going through. I hope I can be part, in some shape, form, or fashion, part of your puzzle of bringing all the pieces together. I hope I can be part of your what? Support system. I hope I can be part, because that's what is so powerful about healing center engagement too, because it also speaks the intergenerational aspects of community life and family life. So peer-to-peer is a powerful model. I hope that you all basically lean all the way in. Let us know what you need to basically support that model, sustain that model, so that we can basically heal. We can basically transform our families, our communities, and those institutions that you all are basically by every single day. The peer-to-peer is a powerful, powerful model that we need to support.
Wow, I love it. I love it. Mr. Rich, if you don't mind, I'm going to connect you directly to Amaya, because she made a comment that said that she needed to talk, but she didn't know where to start. And she also has another comment in here asking about, where can she go for support of understanding for what happened to her in her past.
Please connect her to me.
Amaya, I'm going to get you directly connected. Mr. Rich, this was a beautiful conversation, so enlightening, so needed, so timely, so powerful. We got to ask this last question, and these are about your jewels. If you're going to leave us with some jewels, what are you leaving us with?
Let me share hopefully a few things in the brief time that we have left. That again, the mind has the ability to create a reality. So let me leave that one. The mind has the ability to create a reality, a new reality, one that is life-giving, life-affirming, and life-saving. The basis of all knowledge is self-knowledge. I want young people, I want you, if you are, because you've asked some brilliant questions, some powerful questions, continue to study, continue to read, Continue to find out from whence we've come as a people. Understand your history. Understand who came before you and what they did in order for us to get where we are now. That's very, very important. Listen to the artists, the hip hop artists, the soul, the neo soul artists, the jazz artists. I do that. I have a daily regimen every day. I wake up and meditate every single day. And I listen to my ancestors. I listen to the music. I basically cite affirmations that basically help me through each and every day. I want you to basically do things, understand that the mind responds to what? The mind responds to a vision. If you basically can envision a world different than what it is right now, what would that vision be? Young people, I want you to reimagine what the world should look like for you all. This is your time. This is your turn. So again, you need to basically not only appreciate, but take everything in that Miss Joni and HeartSmiles is trying to give you and trying to teach you, and take that to the next level. We need you all to take the world to the next level, because we have messed a lot of this up. We have messed a lot of this world up, and so you are going to inherit a world that basically there's some good things and there's some bad things. I want you all to focus on the good things and take us to the next level in every way possible. Let me end by just a few more African proverbs that I think, you know, sums up everything that we have talked about today with regards to, you know, our community and our unity and healing-centered engagement. Many hands make light work come together. Where there are many, nothing goes wrong. A single stick may smoke, but it will not burn. Two ants do not fail to pull one grasshopper. I know some of this might be a little foreign, but again, hear me and feel me. Two ants working together, you know, can pull one grasshopper. Two young people working together, nothing is impossible. I will say again that our children are our future. A child is a child to everyone. All of you are my children. I work like that. I believe that. I function like that. There's all the children are my children, and I'm hoping that all of us who are adults will sooner than later, basically come to appreciate. Children are the rewards of life. Children need to be treated carefully. You cannot beat a child to take away his or her tears. And when the child says he has heard it at home, that could mean two things. Either he's heard some good things from home, or he's heard some bad things from home. We got to basically clean up our homes, clean up our communities, clean up our schools, elevate the environment that surrounds us, so that our children can live, thrive, and prosper, and reach higher levels of mental health and well-being. Ms. Joni, I hope that basically was sufficient and beneficial to these young people that are listening in, and to the adults that are listening in. We can do this. We must do this. And whatever I can do to support and to assist in any way, please let me know. Shout outs to your team, shout outs to Dr. K and others who basically are part of this effort, and anyone that I missed, please, I'm sorry, it was a omission of the mind, not of the heart. Love the HeartSmiles concept. When the heart smiles, the mind does what? Sings. When the heart smiles, the soul basically sings. Let's basically make certain that the heart smiles, so that the tears can stop flowing, and that we can hear the laughter again from our young people and see the smiles on their face, so deserving of hope and happiness. Thank you, Ms. Joni.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rich. This was amazing, so powerful, so beautiful. You touched a whole lot of hearts and minds today. And I'm serious, when you get off, go back and read through some of these comments. And we got Elder, she's going to get the questions that we didn't get to answer. We're going to make sure that we get those questions over to you, but please go and read some of these comments because you got people in deep, deep thought.
Excellent. Don't forget to send me the number for the young lady.
Oh yeah, Amaya,
okay.
we on
Amaya.
it.
Okay.
We got you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for being with us today.
My pleasure and honor. I hope to do this again. Okay.
Yes, for sure.
Peace.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Y'all, was that powerful or what, y'all? Oh my gosh, another amazing, amazing conversation. I can't tell you how grateful I am to Mr. Rich, to Miss Nia, and also huge shout out to Dr. K, y'all. Dr. K is on here, y'all. Make sure y'all show her all the love because no matter what nobody tell y'all, I'm telling y'all, this was her idea. The whole concept of Healing Centered Engagement Youth Leadership Program, that was her idea. The whole concept of let's just have a full week talking about nothing but mental health, her idea. All of the guest speakers who are here this week, her idea. She set up the schedule for everybody. She got everybody together. It was her idea and her vision for this to really happen. So thank you so much, Dr. K. Today was a blessing, man. There go Miss Money Mo, y'all. There she go, Miss Money Mo. Hey, Elder, please get all of the questions, y'all. If y'all got questions that I didn't get to ask Mr. Rich, please get all those questions together. I don't want any of those questions lost. We're going to ask him those questions so that we can get answers. And Amaya, I'm connecting you today. Miss Money Mo, what's up, man?
How are you?
Man, I'm good, y'all. I am blessed, y'all. We had an amazing call. Yo, did not have to use the trigger finger. I told him yesterday I was going, because Ms. Nia set the bar high. Yo, Ms. Nia set the bar super high, yo. Mr. Rich cleared the whole hurdle.
Yes.
Yo, he cleared the whole thing. All my track people, y'all know what I mean. When you run it, then you got the hurdles, and then nothing touched the hurdle, you just jump straight over it. That's exactly what Mr. Rich did, yo. He did not come to play with nobody, y'all. And the time went by so fast. And I agree. Jamira wrote a comment in there. She said we need just like 2 full hours. When Bloomberg opened back up, we just need 2 full hours in our conference room and just bring him back and just talk for 2 full hours. Like, yo.
Maybe longer than that.
It'll most definitely be longer than that. But you know what? I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it. I am absolutely with it, man. Yes, powerful conversation. And you guys had some very, very insightful comments and stuff. I know I didn't get a chance to read the comments, but out loud, but I was reading the comments and you guys, absolutely amazing. Not that I expect anything less from our heartbeats, but absolutely amazing. And the questions were so on point. And yes, Arthur, I cannot agree with you more. Her idea is definitely going to change the world. So shout out to you, Dr. K, man. Can't thank you enough for your vision and for your leadership. This is amazing.
Thank you.
You know, so that means I got 2 trigger fingers ready. So whoever coming tomorrow, tomorrow going to hack the bring. Is tomorrow Miss Andy?
I don't know.
I feel like tomorrow might be Miss Andy. Let me see. If it's Miss Andy, yeah, y'all gonna love her. Let me see.
Andy is Thursday.
Oh, Miss Andy. Let me see. Who we got tomorrow?
Mr. Howard.
Oh, tomorrow is Mr. Howard. Okay, so I'll be meeting him for the first time too. Mr. Howard, yo, put your A game on, yo. Yo, Mr. Rich cleared the whole hurdle, yo. Put your A game on. But you know what, man, I felt so humbled because Mr. Rich said that he had been in my presence before. And he gave me all these nice compliments. You know, I'm not good with compliments. This little warm feeling melt in my icebox. But y'all, that right there, goes into what we talk about all the time about how you present yourself and what you leave in the room after you've left. For this powerful man, like this man is so powerful, for this powerful man to give me accolades and to give me credit, just based off of him seeing me, you know, in a room or in a space or whatever, like that is what I mean when I say, let your work speak for you, and make sure that you are building your character every moment that you get, and that you are putting your best foot forward every single chance that you get, because you never know who's watching. You never know who's looking, because he could have easily came on here and said the exact opposite. Like, oh, them hot frowns, yeah, trash.
I'm dead. What?
For real. Like, if I wasn't out, like, I'm just saying, if I really wasn't out there doing my thing, but the fact that he was able to say something nice, and the fact that he was able to, you know, just say, you know, how he felt my energy, and, you know, how he could see that I really cared and I'm really about the work, like that meant a lot, especially from people like that. Like, I really don't take, you know, compliments that well, but it means a lot when it's coming from a person of substance. Like, and he is a lot of substance. Like, yo, these Healing Center youth leaders, y'all in for a treat. Y'all got some powerful, powerful mentors and trainers. Like, yo, it ain't no way that you can come out of that and not be a better person and not have gained more knowledge and more skills to share with our community and with other young people. And I'm just so excited to see you guys do this, because y'all going to be doing this for young people. Prayerfully, once Rona get us out the chokehold, we'll be back to doing it in person, physically. But like, imagine how many lives are going to be changed because you guys are making the extra effort to learn this stuff, to soak it in, and then to give it back.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real, real good.
Man, yeah. Hey, Cam, my icebox is not fading away. My icebox is still here, frozen to the core. Never that. I just said it warmed up a teeny tiny bit, but no, I'm still frozen. I'm still frozen.
It's not really frozen if it's melting a little bit. It's not frozen solid.
No, somebody just opened the door. You know how you open the door of the freezer? Yeah, you just open the door, a little bit of hot air get in, but everything,
what's in there.
Yeah, but everything's still frozen. That's me.
Okay. All right, if that's how you want to live, that's
man, fine. For real. Like, it's crazy. Man, and y'all heard what he said? He said, listen to what we teaching y'all. Yo, do we or do we not, yo? Jewel at the jewel at the jewel at the jewel, yo. Like, yes. Taylor says she coming like a sponge, soaking all the powerful information and squeezing on others. Yes, Taylor, I love that.
I love it.
That's exactly what it's about.
But I also noticed how you skipped Jada's question. That's all.
No, Jada had a question?
Yeah, right above Taylor's comment.
Oh, you know, I'm old, my eyes.
Oh, is that your excuse for everything?
Yo,
you see that comment. You see it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You okay. All of a sudden you blind, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, definitely powerful comment, Taylor. We can move on, Miss Jones. I won't mess with you about your icebox anymore.
Yeah, you know, what were we doing today, y'all? What were we doing?
I guess it's like a continuation from yesterday. So in yesterday's conversation, we like kind of touched on imposter syndrome, but like we kind of breezed past it. So we're just gonna talk about that today and what that is. So it can happen as a result of intimidation. So yeah.
Imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So here we go.
Oh, y'all, imposter syndrome. I'm interested in this one.
We're gonna see if this works on today.
Yes, get Miss Mo's screen share out the ghetto. There we go.
I wasn't even in the ghetto. Like, I didn't have no connection issues yet. I didn't nothing. I wasn't even in the ghetto, but it's fine. All right, here we go, y'all. We're gonna start off with this question because I like starting off with questions now, I think. So if a movie was made about your life, what genre would it be and who would play you and why? So I guess I'll get us started. The genre that it would be, honestly, would probably be a musical. Just because I love musicals and I love like people randomly singing in the middle of movies and in plays. Um, and I wish that I could be, I said this a couple times, but I wish that I could be like a musical theater performer. And so if there's a movie made about me, I feel like that's the perfect opportunity because you can just hire people that can sing and dance and stuff. And then they can do it for you and they act like you. And then who would play me and why? I don't think that she's actually been in any movie or TV series as an actress though, but I would hope that she would become an actress just to play me. I would pick Ari Lennox just because her personality, we actually have a lot, at least from what I see through a TV screen or through my phone, I feel like we would like be really good friends. And I feel like we're similar in a lot of ways. So, yeah. Miss Joni, this is for y'all too, so make sure y'all answering it.
Yeah, this is a hard one. What would genre? The genre would definitely be action. I feel like even though I'm very like laid back and low key, like overall, if somebody would look at my life, it is definitely more closely related to an action movie because something is always going on. And it's very, very fast paced. And if I had to pick somebody to play me, this is going to sound crazy, but it's the truth. I would say Will Smith. And the reason why I say Will Smith is because he is underrated in a lot of things. And I think most of you guys are probably too old to kind of understand like where his career started. But when his career started in like music, like a lot of people took him for a joke until he actually made it. And then when he saw that he was getting older and that, you know, people really weren't trying to, you know, hear that no more in terms of his music, he switched gears and said, well, movies are the thing now. And, you know, television and movies and all that, he saw an opportunity to make even more money than just being a music artist. And again, people did not take him serious. Like people talk so bad about that man, about, you know, how he didn't have any talent, he didn't have any experience, he didn't have any skills, and that, you know, he was just going to be the washed up rapper who now was making a bad attempt to transition into film, into television. And then the man ended up killing it. You know, like, so not only was he responsible for helping to create a TV show that is like timeless, like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but he also proved that you can go from TV to high playing roles in movies as well, like stuff that people never saw him in, like roles and stuff that were completely outside of his character. And even Jada Pickett talk about that a lot in like her interviews and stuff. When she reminisce on her relationship with Tupac, she always bring up Will Smith too, because she's like, he was the clown that we all used to laugh at, like nobody took him seriously. But then she ended up marrying the man after she found out like who he really was. And Will was just always so unapologetic about who he was and letting his light shine and doing whatever it is he wanted to do, regardless of the criticism. So that is something that I can relate to.
That's cool. Thank you, Ms. Joni, for sharing that. I like that. Let me see. Shalak. What? Oh, okay. He said, guys, I got the best call in the world a few seconds ago from the Atlanta Hawks from the NBA. Okay. All right. I want to hear about that. And I don't know what that exactly means. I mean, like, I know what it means, but I wonder what the call was about is what I'm saying. Cam said action for sure. That is absolutely amazing. Congratulations, Shalal. I really want to I want to know more details like right now about it, but I'll just wait. I'll wait. If you want to share, you can. But if Kamai said if my movie was made based on my life, I think it would be action, and I want Brent Fayez to play me to get from a man's perspective. That's very interesting, Kamaya. Thank you for sharing that. Miss Trina said she would want a comedy and she would want Tiffany Haddish to play her. That's funny. Shalaf said, I would say a documentary and I would want Kevin Hart to play me because he'd been through a lot with his life growing up and was helping people out. That's an interesting perspective, Shalaf, because that's interesting. That's really, really interesting. Anaya said drama and she would want Gabrielle Union to play her. Yes, Gabrielle Union. I love her. Oh, you're going on a coaching clinic with them tomorrow. Yes, Shala, congratulations. That's awesome. And Cam said she said that she could see a documentary for her too. I love documentaries. Taylor said her genre will be drama and comedy, and she said that Zendaya could play her. I could see that, Taylor. I could really, really see that. Jada said, I feel like it would be a drama because it's always something no matter which way I turn. And I believe the person who would play me is Jada Pinkett Smith. I could see that, Jada. I definitely could see that. Miss Trina said you'd be the Fresh Prince of Be More. Miss Joni. And then Ken said, I think I would want Taraji. Yes, I love Taraji P. Henson. I love her. I love her so much. Okay, yes. I think I want Taraji P. Henson to play me. Definitely Gracia Law. And then, yeah. That's what I'm saying too, because I was reading it and I was like, he just said it like, the NBA called me. I'm like, what? You just dropping random? Because now I want to be like, I now want to know all the details, but it's fine. It's fine, Shalom. Thank you for sharing your news and congratulations. But you just dropped it out of nowhere. I am very excited for you though. And then Arthur said, oh no, Anaya said, oh no, wait, Whitney Houston. Okay. Might be kind of difficult, but okay. And then Arthur said action comedy. Action I want Martin Lawrence to play me. Okay. And then is that Miss Nia from yesterday? Hey, Miss Nia. I would want a cartoon movie because I'm a child and the voice of Regina Hall from Girls Trip. Yes. Okay. Yes. Regina Hall is actually really hilarious. I love Regina Hall too. Yeah, man. Okay. I love it. Thank y'all for participating in that and sharing. I thought it was a really cool thing to kind of think about and to do. So here we go. All right. So, y'all, what is imposter syndrome? I didn't do dictionary definition because I just don't like it. I didn't like the dictionary definition. A lot of times I don't like dictionary definitions. But so it can basically fall into either one of these kind of pots. And they're very similar. So it's the inability to recognize that you are deserving of opportunities and that you belong in the position that you're in. So that's the definition actually that was from yesterday. And then the belief that you are in a position because of luck and not your talent or your skill set. So basically it's like believing that you're a fraud. Like it's believing that you're a fraud and that somebody will discover that you're a fraud. So it's almost like you believe that you're playing a role that you don't deserve and that you don't believe that you belong into, and that somebody will find out that you're trying to pretend to be somebody that you're not. And a lot of people experience this. I shared one of my experiences yesterday, but a lot of people experience this, especially when they get opportunities that are deemed like too good to be true, or they're working so hard for something and they finally get it and they're like, okay, I'm in this position now. Like, what do I do? Like, am I even qualified? And it's like, yeah, you're absolutely qualified. You're absolutely, deserving of this opportunity. It's just about if you believe that you can. So yeah, I still see more movies coming through, because I want to read this one. Matrina said, Jordan says this would be a documentary and the person he wants to play him would be Caleb McLaughlin, the black kid in Stranger Things. I could see that. I could definitely see that. And then Amaya said, action, comedy, sad, traumatic, and inspiring. And I would want America Ferrera or Kai Davis or Angel Hayes. Anaya said, shoot, bring him back from the dead, get the Flash. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, because when you said Whitney, I was like, ooh, how we gonna get Whitney? But yeah, I got you. I got you. That would be fire. Jada says, should we factor adult life in the movie? Yeah, it's a movie about your life. It's definitely a movie about your life. And Jada, going down to your question, so like self-doubt, yes. So self-doubt is definitely a part of this whole like kind of complex and this whole syndrome. So you'll hear it be called imposter syndrome, I feel like, more commonly, but some people call it imposter complex, imposter complex, and then other names. So yeah, self-doubt is a part of this, and we're going to get to that. So I hopefully y'all can see this. If not, I'm gonna read it. But it's like a little cartoon, and the person on the left, well, I guess these are people, these little characters. The character on the left is saying, I love your work, and they're different colors because it's supposed to be representative of like different kind of people in your life. So the red character is like representing your family. So the red character says, I love your work. And the blue character, which is supposed to be like you or like the same person in the situation, says, they're my family. They have to say that. The yellow person represents your friends, and the yellow person says, I love your work. And the blue person says, they're my friends. They have to say that. And then the green person represents people that you don't even know, and people that may not even know you like that too. And it says, I love your work. And then the blue person is still saying they're complete strangers. They have to say that. So the purpose of this particular graphic is like, people are constantly telling you like, they love the things that you do. They love, who you are. They love the skills that you have, the talents that you have. And you're constantly like, but no, you're constantly saying, but no, it's not me. It's you. Like, you're seeing something in me, but I don't necessarily see it in myself. Or like, you have to say these things about me because you're like close to me, or because we have a relationship, or because you're my supervisor, or whatever. So that's why, Jada, that was a good question. And that's why self-doubt is a part of this, because part of the imposter syndrome is that you are constantly doubting yourself and constantly believing that you don't deserve whatever position that you're in. And are there any questions, of course, as always, that you have about anything that I say? I don't mind like going back or anything like that. Any questions that you have, please feel free to ask them, and I will do my very best to answer them. Okay. So some reasons as to why this may happen. So going back to that intimidation part. So that intimidation part, like, if you feel like you're in the presence of people that are like higher up than you, or that have more skills than you, and you're just like, nope, there's no way I could be on the same level as them. Like, even though I have, so like, let's say we're all managers in the room, or we're all, yeah, let's just say we're all managers in the room, right? All managers, maybe different departments or whatever, but we're all managers. Let's say I'm the manager of, I don't know, arts and culture. Made that up. I don't even know what that is, but let's say I'm the manager of arts and culture. Miss Joni is the manager of youth development. And so let's just say we're both managers, we're both in the same position, we both have the same qualifications, but for some reason, I'm like, I'm not deserving of this position because Miss Joni is better than me. Miss Joni is higher up than me. Miss Joni has more knowledge than I do. Miss Joni is just that. She's just that. This is an example, but I'm just saying, let's just say that that's what it is. And that is like that intimidation aspect. So let's just say I look at Miss Joni and I'm just like in awe of her, number one, but also intimidated by what she can do. And so that would be a reason as to why I may feel like an imposter in the situation. Lack of self-confidence, so just not having that kind of foundation of I can do these things. So maybe you may lack self-confidence if you suffer from this particular syndrome. Anxiety, if you are someone who gets extremely nervous about situations, extremely apprehensive, and that like stresses you out, this may happen. And then fear. I put some examples, but just fear in general may cause this particular thing to happen. But some examples would be like fear of rejection, fear of failure, and fear of like falling short. So yeah. Elder, I see your question. We're gonna get to how you get over it. So yeah, we're not just gonna talk, we're gonna get to how you get over it. So I hope that we get, and I hope that answers your question. So yeah. And then Jada said in her adult life, she would want Marsai Martin. All right. So people who experience imposter syndrome, they may sabotage themselves. So they're big self-sabotagers. So like, even if they are like being successful, because they keep saying that they're not worthy, because they keep, kind of saying like, oh, I don't deserve this, they will sabotage themselves and maybe possibly get themselves out of that particular position or out of that opportunity. Because if you constantly tell yourself something, you will believe it. If you constantly, and that goes with positive and negative things. So if you're constantly telling yourself that you can't do it, well, it might turn out that you possibly can't do it because you keep telling yourself that you can't do it. But if you tell yourself you can do it, you'll see that you can do it. They may remain in the same position or at the same status because of that fear of failure, or because of that fear that they can't get much higher than they already are. So they might just stay like stagnant in that position or in their lives, depending on how, I guess, big it is. And then they may avoid asking questions just for fear that people, like if they ask a question, that people will think that they don't know anything, or will think that they are not, intelligent in their particular field or role. So we're going to kind of pause right here. And from what we've talked about and from what the definition kind of is so far, I want to know if, just with like a simple yes or no with right now, and if you want to talk about a particular experience, you can, but I want to know if, like, just from this information alone, do you think that you have suffered from imposter syndrome? My short answer is definitely yes. And then Miss Joni, you can share as well. And then also share in your comments. Yeah, youth development. I had to think on the fly. I had to think about it. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, like I'm listening and I'm like, hold on, do I suffer from this? Now, the one thing I can say, I don't see my reason though, but I definitely think that like that's me like all the way. Like people give me all this credit and I truly honestly don't think that I deserve that that credit. Like people tell me how great I am and like just all this good stuff. And I'm just all like no, like for me, it's simple. I'm just doing what I said I was going to do. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I made a commitment and that's what I'm going to do. And the thing about me is I keep all of my commitments. So whether my commitment was to sweep the floor or to wash the car or to build a nonprofit, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my commitment. And to me, I just don't always understand, like all this extra credit and all this stuff when I'm just like, no, I'm really not doing anything special. But like, I don't have all these other problems. Like I'm definitely is no intimidation, like intimidated by who, where, how, like I'm basically in my own lane. It ain't even nobody beside me, behind me or in front of me. Lack of confidence. Y'all already know that's no, it's no lack of confidence here. Anxiety, no. And even when I was younger, like teenage younger, like I never had anxiety and high nervousness and all that stuff like that. And I'm glad that I've never experienced, like that type of stuff because it's not fun at all. Definitely don't have fear of failure or rejection or falling short. If anything, I embrace failure because I think that failure is like the only true way to learn and to be able to get better. And if people don't accept me, then they just don't accept me. I've always had the mindset of the people who are meant to accept me and the people who are meant to be around will actually be around. So my reason for this though hasn't necessarily come up yet, but I'm just like, yo, it ain't no big deal. Just doing what I said I was going to do, and that's it.
Yeah, I see. So a couple of things. So I just noticed like Cam says she's humble. And I also would, I guess, place that label on YouTube, Miss Joni, because like I think that you are a very like humble person. And I guess that being humble and like not taking credit for something, like I want to be able to kind of relate that to imposter syndrome because they're the same, but they're not. And I hopefully like as we continue kind of talking or whatever, I can kind of talk about that more because it's interesting to like see like people who classify as humble, like do you suffer from imposter syndrome or are you just humble? So I don't know exactly what the answer to that question is, but if anybody else wants to kind of take a stab at it, then I think that you should. But yeah, let's go. So we're going to talk about like the different types of people who may suffer from imposter syndrome. This lady named Dr. Valerie Young kind of conjured it up and created like the types. It's 5 different types. And maybe if you do suffer from imposter syndrome, it'll help you kind of see the kind that you may, or the reason why. And if not, then you can absolutely just create your own reason. But so here we go. Because I kind of already know which one I am. Okay. So like I said, we're going to talk about 5 different types of people. So people that may suffer from imposter syndrome, the first one is the perfectionist. This person sets super high expectations for themselves, like super, super high. We talk about, making goals and, having aspirations and having dreams and all of that, but the perfectionist like sets high goals and high standards. Like the normal person would set high goals and high standards, but the perfectionist is like 5 times more than that. Like they're like, okay, I'm gonna be just unrealistic. It's unrealistic a lot of times. And you want to make sure your goals are realistic, even if they're high, but you want to make sure they're realistic. The next kind of trait would be like they rarely celebrate achievement. So let's say they do, attain this super high expectation, right? But when they get there and when people are like, oh, well, good job, like, you know, you did this, you got this gold medal, you got this award, you know, helped so many people, you did all of this, they're like, but I can do more. Or they're like, they're like, I don't want to, I mean, like, I didn't even do it like that, whatever. There's so much more to be done. It wasn't 100% perfect. I made this mistake here. I did this mistake here, da, 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 da. Like, they're not trying to hear it. They're not trying to hear that they did well. So that can be a quality of the perfectionist. They're self-doubter. So like I said, even if they did accomplish certain things, they're like, well, was that just out of luck, or was that, you know, something that I actually did? Is that something I'm actually capable of? Like, and the questions could go on and on and on about self-doubt. But yeah, and then they tend to be like micromanagers. So if they aren't necessarily working, you know, by themselves, they're micromanaging themselves. So they're like constantly going over their work, constantly rereading stuff, constantly redoing stuff, constantly like just constantly. That's the word. That's the theme of it, is constantly. And if they're working part of a team, they're like constantly managing those people. And like, what did you do? What were the exact steps? What time did you do it? What time of day was it? Like all of that. Who did you send this to? At what time? On what device? On what internet connection? Like everything is like a micromanaged type of situation. So this kind of person, definitely more qualities to the perfectionist, and you don't necessarily have to have all of these qualities, but these are the main ones that would classify a perfectionist. The superhuman. So this person is always working, always working. Don't laugh. Y'all, I don't even think y'all can see Miss Jodi's face, but she's like cracking up right now. But it's differences, right? Because there's people that are always working because they're passionate about what they do, and then there's this type of person. So let me kind of move on. So the superhuman, they work harder. I'm sorry. They work harder to prove that they can do more things. They get validation from working and not the actual work. So this, I feel like, is the separation, because like this person is working just because they don't have nothing else to do, or because they don't have any other purpose outside of their like work. And then so a lot of times they may work and continue to work and always replace, you know, their time or whatever with work, because they're trying to cover up their insecurities, and they don't find necessarily joy in anything else but doing the work. Excuse me. So this person is just constantly on the move, and constantly just like, I'm not attacking her, y'all. Listen, I'm not attacking her. I swear, I didn't make this up. I'm not attacking her. So yeah, because Miss Jodi don't get her validation from just working. She gets it from the work. I mean, she enjoys the work that she does. She's not just working out here just to work. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she's not just working out here just to work. Do you feel attacked, Miss Joni? Would you like to speak on it?
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. That one you just had up, go back to that one that you just had up. Yeah, this second one, the rarely celebrates achievements, like that is definitely me all day. Like I do set high expectations, but I achieve them. So yeah, they high, but you know, when you getting them, I feel like, you know, that's an even trade-off. Never been a self-doubter, definitely not a micromanager. If anything, I find ways to empower other people. But this celebrates achievement. Yeah, like I don't want no party. And the reason why I hold the line on that one is because like kids really out here still dying. So it's like, what am I celebrating if kids are out here like still dying? You know what I'm saying? So like that's just kind of like my mindset around that. Like, nah, You can save all the accolades, save all the awards and all that stuff like that. I would really rather continue to put all that effort into the young people. And then come out to the side that we on now. Yeah, this one about works hard to prove that they can do most things. I definitely wouldn't say that I'm proving anything to anybody, like not even to myself, but I do work hard, and it's not to prove anything. It really is just to get the work done. Like, because it's a lot that needs to be done. And when you got big goals and when you want a certain type of lifestyle, like you gotta do the stuff that most people don't want to do. And you gotta sacrifice the things that most people don't want to sacrifice. But that's why you get to live, like how most people, don't ever get the chance to live, because you make those sacrifices and because you are actually putting in that hard work. um Definitely no insecurities to cover up, and I do actually find a lot of joy in all the work that I do, which is nice.
Thanks, Miss Joni, for sharing. Y'all don't feel attacked. It's not. It's not because I felt attacked when I first read it. Because I'm gonna share when we go through all of them, which one I believe that I am. And when I first read this particular profile, I was like, oh dang, that doesn't sound good. But this is for y'all to like kind of take what these are, determine if you fit into one of them. If you don't, absolutely, and you still, I just want you to be aware of this particular syndrome, because at the end we're going to talk about how to overcome it, because I want everybody to walk away with this knowing that every opportunity and everything that you're given and that you worked hard for, you're absolutely deserving of it. And that it's no reason for this kind of idea. It's no reason for you to feel like that you're a fraud or that you don't belong. So I want you to be aware of it, that way that you can combat it now. That way you don't have to suffer from it. So yeah, here we go. All right, so we got the superhuman, we got the perfectionist, and then the natural genius. So this person has been told the majority of their life, maybe all their life, that they were the smart one, that they always know, certain things, but that they determine if they can do something, or if they are confident by if they can get something on the first try. So if this person doesn't get something on the first try, then they're like, oh, I can't, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do it, oh, I'm not good enough to do it if they don't get on the first try. They're unlikely to do anything risky because they know what they can do, they know what they can do well, and they're not trying to really deviate from that. So because the idea is if I try something new, I may fail at it, so I'm not even gonna try. With this kind of person, they tend to excel without much effort. And then, like I said, opening up, they're labeled as like the smart one, or the intelligent one, or the one that like kind of catches on fast. And this person suffers from imposter syndrome because when they don't pick up on something fast, or when they don't have that natural talent in a particular thing, it gets to them really, really bad. So, yeah. Let me pause real quick. That way I can read some of these. Um, yeah, saying yeah, feel attacked. Don't feel attacked. Kamaya said, I'm such a perfectionist and it is literally never enough. I understand you, Kamaya. I understand where you're coming from. Love. Um, Cam said micromanaging isn't always bad depending on the extent. I agree to it. Yeah, I agree to an extent, because people, especially different supervisors, they have different styles. Because so you have like supervisors or like people that maybe, kind of in a higher position that are micromanagers because they want to make you better. So like they see something, they see a product that you created, and then they give you like honest, constructive kind of criticism. And then you have those supervisors that like are just nitpicky, and then maybe your coworkers too, like people on the same kind of that have the same role or position as you. You have those people that are just like nitpicky and like things just don't even matter, and they're just like, I want you to do it this way because I said to do it this way, not because it's actually more productive, you know? So you have to be able to kind of determine those kind of people. Kamai says out of control something. It's out of control sometimes. Amaya says she's a self-doubter at times. Cam says still more things need to be done. Amaya said I'm always on the go and doing things everywhere. And then Miss Sherry said many people find their identity in what they do, not who they are. And if they lose a job, they lose themselves. Absolutely, Miss Sherry. Absolutely. Yeah, like some people, they're like, once that job is gone, they like, what do I even do? So thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. And then Amaya said, definitely not me. All the love to the geniuses. Amaya, let me tell you something, honey. Like, so when I say like the natural genius, right? I feel like honestly, everybody kind of possesses a little bit of this natural genius because everybody has something that they are good at and good at naturally. Whether that's one thing or 15 things, like you have at least one thing that you are absolutely an expert at. So I want you to change your perspective about that particular thing. And then Cam was saying she could relate, but not with the risky part. All right, so let's go to the next two. I think it's two. I think it's two left, if I can count. So the soloist has a strong belief that everything needs to be done alone. Don't need nobody, don't need no team, don't need no help. And if they do have like a team, or if they're put in a position with a team, or when they do have help in the particular project or the particular task they fail at, they're like, well, we failed because y'all did it wrong. Like, we failed because I wasn't able to take this task on by myself. So, and then like when they are asking for help, they won't say like, I need help. They won't be very explicit. They'll just be like, hey, like they'll frame it as a requirement and not as a personal need. So like, instead of saying like, I need like 100 pencils, can you lend me some, or can you buy me some? They'd be like, the project says that we need 100 pencils. Do you know anybody that has them? I mean, I can do it, but like, I can go pick them up. Like, they're just like, it's the me show. It's the me show. And then, like I said, they rarely ask anyone for help. So they're very critical of themselves, very, very just self-oriented, and not really seeking help. So yeah. And then the last one is the expert. So this person can never have enough knowledge. Like, they never know enough. They're constantly skipping down to the last one, constantly seeking out extra classes, constantly seeking training. They want to be an expert in every single thing that they do, which is possible, but they want it like now. They want every single thing in their life that they do, they want to do it well, and they want to do it perfectly. So this person, like I said, will never know enough, and they don't seek opportunities, like certain opportunities, particularly like job opportunities, unless they meet every requirement. So y'all know, like when you're applying for jobs and you see like the job position and the job title, and then you see like requirements, like must have a high school diploma, must be proficient in Microsoft Office, must be able to read and write in English, like those kind of requirements. But let's say like the requirement on that list was must be proficient in like Microsoft Outlook, right? And you don't necessarily know Microsoft Outlook. So that the expert will look at that and be like, oh no, I'll just move on to the next one because I don't have that right now. I need to become an expert in Microsoft Outlook before I even apply for this. So they won't even apply. They won't even do it. They'll pass it by. So yeah. All right. So now that we went through kind of all of them, and if I need to go back, let me know. But we went through all of them. We went through all 5. So which one are you? And again, I will start because I know which one I am. I am that top one. Minus the micromanaging, I think. But if I had to pick one, I am that top one because I am very, 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 very hard on myself, and I want things to go 100%. And I'm gonna pull it back up just for people that may have forgotten. But I do set super high expectations, and I'm able to fulfill them most of the time. But some of them are really just. Some of them are unrealistic because like people, it's just not. They're not. It just can't. Some of them are just ridiculous. Rarely celebrates achievements. Absolutely. I am not a huge celebrator with anything really. Doesn't mean I'm not excited. I feel like, especially kind of growing up, like my parents would look at me and they'd be like, especially my dad, he'd be like, "You not excited?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm excited," but I'm always like thinking about the next thing, and then I'm also focusing on mistakes that I've made. So yeah, I would classify as the perfectionist. Miss Joni?
Is it a quiz or something we can take to figure out which one we are?
I can try to find one, but I don't really know if it exists.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit all of them possibly. Go back,
That's fine.
because I can't see all the stuff in one. So can you
Yep.
Can you go back to real quick and I'm gonna tell you which one I am from all of them.
Yeah.
All right, so from the perfectionist, I definitely set high expectations, but I meet those expectations and I rarely celebrate achievements. That's me from perfectionist. All right. From the superhuman, I don't think I'm any from this. I mean, I work hard, but not to prove anything. I just work hard because that's what you gotta do. If you want to be successful, you gotta work hard. All right. The natural genius. I'm not none of these, y'all. For real, I'm not. Definitely, no, I'm not none of these. Like, if you look at just like my entire like resume, I've always had jobs and positions that I wasn't qualified for. Even now, like somebody with no nonprofit experience, somebody with no youth experience, somebody with no formal education running a whole business. Like, yo, I'm from that situation where I'm not qualified by man, I'm qualified by the higher power. So yeah, I ain't got none on this natural genius. What's the next one? The soloist. Nah, this ain't me either. Well, you know what? Possibly this last one. Rarely ask for help from anyone. It depends on what it is. As far as my work, professional stuff, like, yo, I'm taking all the help that I can take with email because my email is completely out of control. So I do ask for help when it comes to stuff like that. And I'm fortunate to have a team who everybody is good at what they good at. So it's like, I know that if it's like a grant or some writing or something like that, I'm hollering at Miss Emma. Miss Emma, can you help me with this? So, you know, like it just depends on what the situation is. But I do find myself in that bucket a lot to where as though like I really ask for help from people because I don't want to be a burden to other people with so many more important things going on in the world. And if I can do it myself, then I'm going to go ahead and do it myself. And it made me think back about that time where after that one Thriving Thursday, I was completely overwhelmed doing those Ubers and Lyfts, and then people trying to talk to me. And Cam stepped up. It was like, Miss Joni, you want me help you? And I could have been like, no, but I'm like, yeah. Like, it's different if somebody asked me, but I rarely would just come out and say, hey, can you help me with this, depending on what the situation is. So, definitely.
Thank you, Ms. Joni. All right, so let's go here. So how to stop imposter syndrome from happening. See what's actually there. Don't create things in your head that are not, there. Build confidence in yourself. So have 100% confidence in what you're doing, even if you're unsure. Like, a lot of times, if you're unsure about something, and if you do it with confidence, people will never know that you were unsure, or people will never know that you didn't know how to do it. So just have that confidence within yourself. Believe that you deserve the opportunities that you are given, because you're absolutely deserving, and you were picked for a certain reason, and you were brought to that particular situation for a reason. So absolutely believe those things. Accept your failures. They're part of life. They're part of whatever you're currently experiencing. They're gonna happen. If you're expecting them not to happen, that's unrealistic. So kind of get over that, and accept your failures as they're happening, and learn from them, because that's an important aspect of that too. So if they're happening, absolutely learn something and absolutely take it as an opportunity to become better. Give yourself credit. So if you're not a big person, kind of accepting that outside credit, at least give yourself some credit, for the things that you may have accomplished, or for, just like those little joys throughout the day, like, just for those little joys throughout the day. Like, I completed my to-do list today. Give yourself a little pat on the back, do a little celebration. However you may celebrate yourself. Seek support, ask for help, ask questions, ask for, realize that you can't do everything by yourself, because that's also pretty unrealistic, depending on what scale and what level you're on. So just these are, like I said, this kind of conversation was just so that you would be able to identify what this is, why you may be feeling like you don't belong or whatever, but you absolutely do belong. So yeah, y'all, that's it for me today.
What a great conversation. It's such a great topic to discuss. Definitely something that I don't think we talk about enough. So thank you so much for this.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
problem.
Jules, man, what you leaving us with today?
So I have a question, right? Because technically, the jewel that I had, it's a real question. The jewel that I had, I studied already, so I got to come up with something else, right? All right, so here we go. What is my jewel? My second jewel for today. You are not a fraud, and don't let anybody else tell you that you're a fraud. And absolutely accept 100% of your confidence and your knowledge. There you go.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Mo. We love it. We love it. We love it, man. You back with us tomorrow at 12 o'clock?
I don't know why you asked me this, because yes. I'm here every day.
I just got to make sure you ain't trying to sneak off nowhere.
I can't. If I do that, I feel like, listen, I'll be actively trying to avoid the cuss outs, because listen, I'm just under the impression that the adults can get the cuss outs too. So I don't want it. I don't want the smoke. Okay. Y'all will see me tomorrow.
You are so dumb. Well, thank you so much for a great conversation, man. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
So I think Lamar gonna be on tomorrow with me tomorrow. So y'all see me and Lamar.
Okay. All right. Bet. Looking forward to that. Okay. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, another great session, yo. Miss Mo always bring those little topics that you just kind of forget about. It's like you live in them and you feeling them and they are relevant in your life, but you don't really take the time out to sit and think. And Miss Mo bring those topics out that make you sit and think. Man, I absolutely love it. Yo, right? Arthur, that's what I'm saying. Whole time the jewels be the people themselves. Absolutely. And the jewels just be right there. You just gotta pull them out. Like, man, that thing was so powerful. But that's it for today, y'all. That is it for today. We are done to the done. So if anybody is on here who's in my civil engagement class, I'll see y'all later on this afternoon. But other than that, man, we done with success sessions. Today was an amazing day, another powerful day. And we're going to keep bringing the heat, man. So tomorrow, the conversation continues. We'll have Mr. Oren on as our guest mentor, talking about mental health still. So we're going to keep this whole theme of mental health throughout the whole week. So we'll be here tomorrow, 10 a.m. That's the time we start. And y'all already know, man, tell a friend to tell a friend. You want to be successful? This is the place to start. You want opportunities? This is where you come. You want to build yourself up, build character, network, and connect with other like-minded people who are going places in life, who are going to be successful. Then this is where you come, y'all. Success sessions. All right. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see y'all tomorrow, 10 a.m.